Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Giggity. Real name is Mark. And in today's video, you read their title right. You, sir, have read the title correctly. Grab your popcorn, grab your fishing rods, grab your LARPing gear, because in today's video, we are going to be ranking all 172 SMGs, that stands for submachine guns, in Call of Duty history. If you guys don't care about any of the disclaimers, please skip to the time on screen now. However, don't complain when you don't know all the rules to this video. So for the people that are still here and listening to the rules, this has to be a weapon that is in the SMG class. I want to make that abundantly crystal clear. If it's not in the SMG class, even though it might be an SMG, something like the Kastov 74U in Modern Warfare 2022 is actually in the assault rifles class, even though we know it as the AK-74U, which is an SMG. That will not be in this video. It has to be in the SMGs class in order for it to count in today's video. Also, this is all just going to be personal opinion from a casual, very casual player who does not have 100 hours played with each of these submachine guns. As a matter of fact, there are some weapons on this list that I have never even gotten the chance to play with because of DLC. Things like the HLX-4 in Black Ops 3. Never got the chance to use it. However, I still think my rankings are relatively accurate because I've played those games and I can see how many people are running around with them, and there's no one running around with them. Now, partly that is because nobody has them, but the other part is because the people that do have them and have all the DLC weapons still don't use them because they might not be the best, if that makes any sense. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's just personal opinion. I wouldn't say I'm an average player, but I'm definitely not a pro. I would say I'm slightly above average. like the most slightly above average guy you could ever possibly meet. Also, there is a chance, depending on how long this takes, that this might be a two-part video. You guys will be able to tell this already, depending on the title. If it says part 1 of 2 in the title, that means it is a two-part video. If not, then that means it's a one-part video, so strap in. Here we go. We're going to be doing all of them. This is also only going to be from Call of Duty 4 to Black Ops 6, because I did not play the first 3 Call of Duties, and Call of Duty Mobile is not included either, because I don't play Call of Duty Mobile. Also, this should be pretty obvious, but just in case anybody doesn't know, no variants or blueprints will be included, even though in some Call of Duties those do make a difference, like Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare. Their blueprints do change up the weapons quite a bit sometimes, but we're not including them because that would take absolutely forever, and honestly I don't even care enough about that. The epic variants are 9 times out of 10 the best. There you go. Okay. Also, no zombies exclusive, kill streak only SMGs or campaign only SMGs are in this list. There's only multiplayer SMGs that you can equip to your class and use as a primary gun in multiplayer in Call of Duty history. I went through every single game and made sure that I had them all, but let me know if you truly think I missed one, and I'll pin your comment if you're right. I don't think I did though, but if you think I did, let me know, and I'll let you know if you're correct or not, and I'll tell you obviously what I think of that weapon. The only weapon in this entire list, by the way, that is an exception to the rule that it has to be in the SMGs class to count as an SMG is actually in Infinite Warfare, because of the MACTAV 45. The MACTAV 45 in Infinite Warfare is technically in the Classics class, because Infinite Warfare did that for some reason. However, there isn't another Classics class in the entirety of Call of Duty besides that one, and so we are going to include it in this video, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to make a video. I would never get to talk about that gun because it won't be in the class. There's not going to be a Classics video, obviously, since there's only one game with Classics class. But yeah, we're trying to do this with every single class, ranking every single gun in every single class, and we did it with pistols first, and now we're doing it with submachine guns, obviously. Next, I think it's going to be tactical rifles and all that. But let me know what classes you guys are going to enjoy. I do want to make it abundantly clear, though, that this, even though we are doing this with every gun, and this is going to be a running series, it will not be a running series that will happen every other day. It won't be like, 2 days from now we're going to be ranking the ARs. Like, that's not going to happen, because obviously these series do take a very, very, very long time to make, and I don't have all the time in the world, obviously, so I have to kind of chip away at them in the background while making other videos. So they won't be coming out one after another, but we are going to be trying to rank every weapon class. So yeah, tactical rifles and DMRs I think will be next, and then we'll do something else. Let me know what you guys are thinking. But either way, we are splitting it up into 7 tiers: the awful tier, bad tier, subpar tier, average tier, good tier, amazing tier, and the best tier. And song of the day is called Paralyzer by Finger 11. It's a banger. It's an absolute bang. It's a rock song, so if you like rock music, go give this bad boy a listen. Even if you don't like rock music, go give it a listen, because what are you doing? You're cheating yourself out of some good tunes. But without further ado, 5 minutes later, I'm sorry that the disclaimers took so long, but I wanted to get it all out there because it's a big video. I don't want anybody to be complaining or anything like that. Pretty much, to sum up everything that I just said in the intro, this is just personal opinion. Don't get mad. Okay, that's pretty much what I was trying to say in the intro. Without further ado, let's get right into it with number 172. I'm gonna try and keep my keep myself in the grand scheme of like happiness in this video, because I'm gonna have to be talking for probably 2 to 3 hours straight here. So I'm not gonna be like woohoo, yoo, and talking like super excited or anything, because that way I won't be able to keep my voice nice, you know what I mean? Without further ado, let's get right into it though with number 172, what is in my opinion the worst SMG in Call of Duty history. And that, my friends, is going to the DIY-11 Renovator from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This is the only gun on this entire list that is it's really doesn't belong in the SMGs class. Almost every other gun in this entire list, I believe, belongs in the SMGs class, but this one, I do not believe that. This should have gone into a specials class like Black Ops 6 did, but Black Ops 3 did not have a specials class. For those who don't know, it's a nail gun. It is kind of cool and funny to use. It's a joke weapon, obviously, you know what I mean? It's a meme weapon. You're just supposed to have some fun with it. It's not supposed to actually get you nuclears or anything like that. But in the grand scheme of like, is it good or not? Well, obviously, since it is a meme weapon, no, it's not good. So that's why it's here at number 172. It has absolutely no bullet velocity, the worst damage range of all time, a very bad fire rate. It has weirdly a lot of recoil for a nail gun. It is not good. Coming in at number 171, however, and honestly not much better, is going to the Mini Uzi in COD 4. Now, there is a slight weird part about ranking every single gun in Call of Duty history, and that is the fact that older Call of Duties like this one, COD 4 with the Mini Uzi, they kind of suffer from the fact that they are so old and they have such bad hit registration, because that's what really makes the Mini Uzi in COD 4 so bad. This gun has a really large amount of recoil. It has almost no range whatsoever. It has an insanely fast fire rate, but the problem is, since it has so much recoil, you're probably going to miss shots, and you can't afford to miss shots in COD 4 because the hit registration is just so bad. The Mini Uzi is unfortunately just a very, 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 very bad Call of Duty weapon. However, breaking its way into the top 170, woo, really making its way up there, man. This is gonna take forever, by the way, is the PM63 from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Holy freaking smokes, this gun is just abysmal. I'm gonna be brutally honest, man. The PM63 is horrible. For the main reason why it's so bad, by the way, is just because of the ammo. This gun can only hold 20 bullets for ammo capacity, but I think extended mags makes it 30, which is still doesn't even feel like enough. SMGs of Black Ops 1, as we are going to see here in today's video, I don't want to spoil anything, but they're not good. They are not good. You'd have better luck waiting for your enemy to die of old age than you would killing them with the PM63. Coming in to theaters near you at the number 169 spot. I really hope my phone has enough space to download all these videos and edit it all and upload it to YouTube. That way I don't have to split it up into 2 parts. Number 169 is the Chicum CQB from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It is a 2-round, I believe, burst submachine gun, and I'm not a fan of those in the first place, and this one in particular feels extremely freaking bad. Again, it does kind of suffer the same fate as COD 4 and Black Ops 1. The hit registration is still slightly bad in Black Ops 2. It's not as bad as those, but it's definitely needed some work. Let's leave that out there. And in Black Ops 2, they had some freaking busted SMGs. As a matter of fact, I would say that's around the time when Call of Duty started making SMGs actually viable options. Before that, they were just piss poor options, honestly. And this is around the time I would say they started making them viable. And are you really going to use a Chicum over the absolutely freaking arsenal that Black Ops 2 had for SMGs? I don't think so. And coming in at the number 168 spot is going to the wonderful Repulsor from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Yeah, you're not wrong. That is the correct name to call this thing, because it is repulsive how unbelievably boring and disappointing this submachine gun is. This is also a DLC submachine gun, so if you open this in a supply drop, you are probably going to be the most disappointed human being on the face of the earth. The Repulsor is so utterly boring. There is just nothing to write home about the Repulsor in the slightest bit. It's not good. It's not horrible either at the same time. I'll give you credit where credit is due, but I don't care. I'm putting it in the awful tier because it makes me mad. I don't like the Repulsor at all. It's a disappointment. All right, back to guns that are just truly horrendous in every single regard. number 167 is going to be going to the Mac 11 from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Yeah, you thought we were done with Black Ops 1? Hell no, but there are going to be a lot of Black Ops 1 guns in the beginning of this video because they suck. The Mac 11, it also sucks. It is, in my opinion, better than the PM63, but there have been people out there that said it's worse, and honestly, man, yeah, fair enough. It's not good. I don't care if you think it's worse or better than the PM63. As long as we agree that it's not good, I'm happy. The thing is just way too much recoil, way low damage, absolutely no range. Nothing about this gun's good. Alright, I'm sorry. I know, but coming in at the number 166 spot, this gun has, for some reason, a bit of a cult following. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of guns that we've already talked about so far that do. The Cheekum CQB has a cult following, the Mini Uzi has a cult following, and now the Scorpion from Call of Duty 4 has a major cult following. Every time I talk bad about the Scorpion, there's people out there that are like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, Scorpion's actually so good, he's an idiot. I don't like it. As somebody who can't control their recoil, I don't like the Scorpion at all. Scorpions in COD history are 9 times out of 10 were just not good. And the one in COD 4 in particular did not feel good. I am not using the COD 4 Scorpion, especially since, again, the COD 4 has some good SMGs. And this is just not one of them. Again, though, want to make it abundantly clear, guys, that this is just my opinion. Please don't rip my skin off my body and wear it to the movie theater and try and use my ID to get into a rated R movie, I should say, as an underage kid. I would really not appreciate if you did that. But either way, coming in at the number 165 spot is the Striker from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. This gun in particular, the new one, by the way, Modern Warfare 23. That's what I'm going to call the Modern Warfare 3 entries, Modern Warfare 23, and then Modern Warfare 2 are going to be called Modern Warfare 22, just so people know. But yeah, the Modern Warfare 23 Striker, it's not actually like horrible. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't belong around the spot that the rest of the guns down here are. But the reason why it's down here is because why in God's name would you ever use this when the Striker 9 exists? The Striker 9 is just better in every single way. It looks exactly the same, handles better, and is just the overall better weapon. Why would you use the Striker while the Striker 9 is a thing? Coming in at number 164, and that argument I know can be made for almost any gun in the game when you compare it to just the best gun in that game. Like, for example, you can say something like, well, why would you use the R700 in Call of Duty 4 when you could just use the M16 since it's better? But the reason why I said it, like, why it actually affects the Striker so much is because the Striker 9 isn't just better in every way, it's the exact same gun, but better in every way, you know what I mean? So it's completely pointless that that gun even exists, which is why it's so low. But 164th is the KSP-45 from Black Ops Cold War. Another 3-round burst SMG. I hate these. 9 times out of 10, 3-round burst SMGs do not work, and this is one of them. I don't like the KSP. I think it looks horrendous too, and I know people are going to get mad at me for saying that, but yeah, that's going to play a role in a lot of the rankings on my list. It's a first-person shooter game. I like to use weapons that I enjoy. I think they look cool, and the KSP-45 doesn't look cool, and I hate 3-round burst SMGs. I already hate 3-round burst ARs, and those are actually a viable option sometimes. 3-round burst SMGs are just not it. Coming in at the number 163 spot, the 163rd, is going to the Uzi from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. This is a third Black Ops 1 entry already. Yeah, there is just, well, it's a weak game. Let's leave it at that. The Uzi freaking sucks. Another one of the weapons, just like the Mac 11, just like the PM63, where people commonly refer to them as the worst SMGs in the game. There's always kind of a rebuttal on which one is the true worst. I think it's the PM63, but yeah, the Mac 11 and the Uzi are not much better. I think the Uzi is slightly better than the Mac 11 and PM63 just for the sheer fact that it has more ammo, but it's still pretty freaking horrendous. So I get why people hate it, and I hate it too. 163rd, that's bad. Coming in at the number 162nd spot, however, staying in the Uzi family here because we're talking about the Mini Uzi from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I think they improved on the formula for sure from the Mini Uzi from COD 4. I think this gun has slightly less recoil, and on top of that, I do think Modern Warfare 2 is just overall a slightly more faster paced game than COD 4. Very, very slightly. I mean, they're very around the same though, if I'm being honest, but the Mini Uzi I think works a little bit better in Modern Warfare 2 than it does in COD 4 is what I'm trying to say, but it's still a Mini Uzi. These things are still bad for the same reason why they've always been bad. Absolutely no range. If you're playing on a map like Shipment, sure, the Mini Uzi's fine, but anything else, it's not good enough. Coming in at the number 161st spot, barely missing out on the top 160, is going to the Pharaoh from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Another gun that has a bit of a cult following. Would you look at that? This is a 4-round burst SMG now. Wow, moving up in the world there, Call of Duty. Would you look at that? It still sucks. Still sucks. Burst SMGs are just not good. Because why? Well, the reason, in my opinion at least, the reason why is because in Call of Duty, with a submachine gun in your hands, is because you're using that gun because you want to play fast-paced. That's the whole point of having an SMG. But with a 3-round burst, that doesn't promote fast-paced gameplay. It promotes sitting back and holding angles and hitting them with a burst when they pop into it. The Pharaoh, it just isn't good enough, and it just does so much weak damage. I feel like I always have to 2-burst them, and that's not good enough when the MA-A7 1-bursts from any range. However, breaking its way into the top 160, almost said 60. No, we're not there yet, Mark. Don't get your hopes up. We still have a lot of voice cracks left to go through. Breaking its way into the top 160, however, is going to the PM9 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, another Colt gun. I feel like there are just people out there that like feel like they gotta be different. You know what I mean? Because like, no, man, the PM9 sucks. Why are you guys trying to act like it's not bad? Is it just because everybody else is saying it sucks, so you want to be different? It's bad. Why in God's green earth would you ever use a high recoil PM9 with absolutely no damage and the worst iron sights in Call of Duty history over the MP7? What do you do? Are you insane? Coming in at the number 159th spot is going to the starting SMG in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, the AUG. Modern Warfare 2019 has some absolutely broken SMGs in it, the MP5, MP7, even the Bison's pretty good, the Fennec was good, the ISO was okay, the CX9 was okay. There's a lot of pretty decent SMGs in Modern Warfare 2019, and the AUG is just not one of them. The AUG feels weird. It feels like a hybrid between a submachine gun and an assault rifle. It seems like they tried to go for like a honey badger situation, but it didn't work out. It doesn't have the range of an assault rifle and does not have the handling of an SMG. And the AUG in MW19, again, just doesn't work. It's too weak. It's too slow. It's not good enough. From one starting submachine gun to another starting submachine gun, coming in at the number 158 spot, the first of this game, which has the most amount of SMGs in it, the grease gun from Call of Duty World War II. Call of Duty World War II, like I just said, has the most amount of SMGs in any Call of Duty in it because Call of Duty World War II added 7,000 DLC weapons for some reason. There are, I believe, 20, if I'm not mistaken, SMGs in this game, which is quite a bit. And this is your starting one. This is where it all starts. This is the first SMG you will probably use in that game, and it's the worst, in my opinion. I hate the grease gun. It has a very, very bad fire rate, and yet, for some reason, still feels too weak. It's not good enough when you compare them to the other Call of Duty World War II SMGs. There's a lot, and this gun, I do think, is the worst. Coming in at the number 157 spot, from one World War II shooter to another World War II shooter, from a good Call of Duty World War II game to a horrendous Call of Duty World War II game. Number 157 is the Owen gun from Call of Duty Vanguard. Yeah, I'm going to be 100% honest. Call of Duty Vanguard is one of my least played Call of Duties. I have used every one of these SMGs at least once, but never like mastered these guns or anything like that. So I am going almost 100% off what the community was saying. I looked up a tier list for SMGs on Reddit, and everybody was kind of agreeing with it in the comments. So I was like, okay, we're rocking with these guys' opinions. They put the Owen gun in the F tier, said it was the worst SMG in the game. So I'm rocking with that. Don't know anything about it though. Sorry, but it looks bad too. The one thing I will say that I do know about it is the iron sights are horrendous since the magazine comes straight up. Whose idea was that? Coming in at the number 156th, I have to say that word so many times today, man. No, I hate, for those who don't know, the word sixth haunts me in my sleep. It's my least favorite word in the entire English language, and I'm gonna have to say it so many times today. But either way, it's the micro MG 9mm from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. A lot of people don't even know this gun exists probably, but it kind of looks like a little like minigun almost. At first glance, you would easily think that this is a light machine gun. Like it looks big and bulky, but it's not. It's an SMG, and its catch is that it has to spool up almost like a car with a turbo, but the spool time is way too long. There's actually another gun in this game with that same little gimmick. It's called the Switchblade X9. That's what it's called, and that one's just so much better. The spool up time on the micro MG takes too long. Now once it spools up, does it melt? Sure, but the TTK is going to be very, very small because you have to hold that trigger down first. It's just not good enough, especially when the Switchblade X9 exists in the exact same game. Coming in at number 155 spot, and really quickly, one thing I did forget to mention with the micro MG2 is that it just looks so freaking stupid too. Even if it was like a kind of decent SMG, it would get a little bit lower than it deserves just because of the looks alone. Like this thing just looks dumb. I don't want it. Either way, 155th is a Scorpion from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Would you look at that? Black Ops 1, another SMG popping its way in here. What a surprise. The whole world is rolling over. Wow. You should see the look on my face. I am so shocked. Black Ops 1. had bad SMGs is what I'm trying to get at. A lot of people kind of know that, and it's true, especially from where we went from. We went from Modern Warfare 2, which had some busted SMGs, to just Black Ops 1. And the Scorpion is not great. Now, it's definitely better than the Mac 11, Uzi, and PM63 that we've talked about so far, but it's still not good. Too much recoil, horrible iron sights, not enough damage, not enough ammo. Bad. Same reason why all the other ones are bad so far from Black Ops 1. Holy smokes. Coming in at the number 154th spot, and the final one for the awful tier, before we get into the bad tier, finally getting out of the awful tier here, is the Mac 10 from Call of Duty 4 Remastered. Yeah, we're including the remastered guns here. This is one of so a lot of the COD 4 remastered DLC SMGs, I never really got to use. The Fang 45, never got to use. A PK PSD9, never got to use. Got to see other people using it, but never got to use it myself. The Mac 10, I did get to use, because this gun came out first, and when I was still playing the game when it came out. I'm just like everybody else when it comes to Call of Duty, man. I play the game when it launches, and then usually the DLC one will come out. I'll play that and use the weapons and kind of put it away for a couple months, and then come back and I'll use like DLC Season 2 weapons, and then I put it away for until the next year. That's usually what happens. And so I got to use the Mac 10, and it was very, very weak. Just like Mac 10s from Call of Duties of old, the Mac 10 in COD 4 Remastered was bad. I don't think there's ever really been a Mac 10 in COD history that's been like a decent option, if I'm being honest. Except for one, and we'll talk about that soon, but yeah. All right, now we are into the bad tier. So guns in this tier, don't choose them. Still don't apply them to your class. But is it possible to get kills with them though? Yeah. At least you don't have to be like Optic Scump or Optic Pomage in order to get one kill with these guns to use them. But they're still horrendous, and I still do not recommend using them in the slightest bit. Also, I'm gonna have to start freaking hurrying up here. I'm starting to realize that almost all these clips are like a minute long, and I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, so I gotta start hustling. Either way, 153rd, and the first one for the bad tier is the Trencher from Infinite Warfare. It's like a Sten almost. It's like they tried to remaster the Sten, but also kind of made it slightly futuristic. It's kind of weird. It's like a, you know how, if anybody's a car guy out there, it's like a resto mod on a Sten. It's a weird design, but it also freaking sucks. It has a really slow fire rate and the same amount of damage as a regular SMG in the game does. Coming in at the number 152nd spot is going to be going to the CBJMS from Call of Duty Ghosts. Ghosts, realistically speaking, doesn't have any SMGs that really stand out as horrible. You know what I mean? Like every COD has that one SMG where you're just like, wow, that thing sucks. I never want to touch it again. But even the CBJMS, which I do think is the worst Call of Duty Ghosts SMG, is viable. It's definitely like possible that you can get away with using this thing. I don't recommend using it, but you could get away with it. It's just so weak though. COD Ghost is a Call of Duty kind of like Black Ops 1, where the SMGs definitely were not the best choice, just because it was a lot more longer range engagements. Coming in at the number 151st spot, barely missing out on the top 150 here, is going to the Striker 45 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Yeah, man. I did get to use this one, but I wish I didn't. There was a lot of MW19 guns where I didn't get to use them at first when they first launched because I wasn't playing the game when it first launched. However, this is the era where you didn't have to start buying supply drops to get DLC weapons. You could just earn them naturally. So I ended up earning them all anyways. So I got to use them all, which is really good, actually. But either way, the Striker 45 always felt extremely weak in Modern Warfare 2019. It's not as bad as the AUG. Actually, as a matter of fact, it feels very similar to the AUG, but with a very, very, very slightly faster fire rate. And that's like the only difference in my personal opinion between the Striker 45 and the AUG, so it's only a little bit higher. However, breaking its way into the top 150 is going to the Orso from Call of Duty World War II. World War II is one of the supply drop Call of Duties. However, I've been playing this game like crazy recently, and so I know what all the community's been using for SMGs and stuff, and I have actually a lot of SMGs myself. I do not have the Orso though, I want to put that out there, but at the same time, I don't think I've ever seen a single person using the Orso yet, and I've been playing again for a couple months now on World War II. Don't think I've seen a single human being using this gun. There's probably a reason for that. It's probably not very good. Coming in at the number 149th spot, well, oh my sweet dandy, would you look at that, another Black Ops 1 gun all the way down here. It's the Kaparis from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. This is the SMG that you get after unlocking every other SMG in the class, and it's the classified one. And once you unlock the classified, you can unlock the Kaparis. It's one of the only SMGs in this game though where you can dual wield them. There's only a few that in this game you can dual wield. I think the Mac 11s, the Scorpions, the PM63s, and then this one. I think those are the only ones you could dual wield in Black Ops 1. So that's pretty cool, and it's definitely better than things that we've talked about so far. It has like an interesting recoil pattern that is relatively manageable, so that's good. It still has the problem the other ones do have, though. Runs out of ammo too fast, and doesn't do enough damage, but the recoil is at least somewhat manageable, so it's in the bad tier in my opinion. Coming in at the number 148th spot is going to be probably breaking some hearts here, because it's going to the Thompson from Call of Duty World at War, the starting SMG in that game. It's the first one you get, and you unlock the MP40, I believe, at level 10 in that game, so you unlock it almost instantly, and the second you do, switch out the Thompson for the MP40. The Thompson in World at War, as nostalgic as it is, as cool as it is not good. It's just not. It does very, very, very low damage and has a very low hit fire rate as well. At least it feels like it. And then on top of all of that, I know it's World at War, and World at War has bad hit registration already, but this gun in particular feels like the hit registration is just booty hole cheeks. So man, like I can't get over the Thompson's hit reg in World at War. It feels so bad. And here is one of the most remastered guns in COD history. 147th place is going to the Sten from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. We are going to be hearing that name quite a bit today. There's a lot of Stens in Call of Duty history, and I don't think there's ever been one that has been like really good. So I don't know why they keep bringing them back so much, but they do. The one in Advanced Warfare though definitely feels like the worst. Oh my god, this thing is really bad. The Repulsor I think is worse, just because that gun is a freaking insult to me. I'm sorry. I know it might be. I might have been a little harsh on my placement for the Repulsor. I don't care. That thing is a freaking nightmare. But the Sten does feel extremely weak. It's very, very low damage, very, very weak in terms of well, damage. I just said that. It has like no range, and the biggest problem with this gun is the fire rate. Oh my god, you could literally reload a musket and shoot that faster than shooting the Sten in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It is so slow. Coming in at the number 146th spot, however, is going to the beautiful RA225 from Call of Duty Vanguard. A little unfortunate that the community was tending to think that this is one of the weaker Vanguard SMGs, because I do like how this thing looks. I used it myself relatively recently in Call of Duty Vanguard, and I didn't really mind it too bad. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like almost like the Tanto, you know, from Black Ops 6. Jesus, why was I like literally drawing a thing there? But I do believe it is supposed to be almost like a PM63 remastered. It's a cool looking gun, but apparently it's just not good enough. It's very weak, and that's obviously a little unfortunate. Can't be having that. Alrighty lads, coming in at the number 145 spot, and is going to the wonderful MX9 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 22, the new Modern Warfare 2, obviously. It's the AUG from MW19 remastered into this game. It's definitely better than one in MW19, feels a little bit stronger, but it's still not good enough. Again, the AUGs as SMGs, I don't really think work 9 times out of 10. There's a couple instances where they're okay, but 9 times out of 10, they're just really bad. Also, I want to put it out there because I realized that I was just like in the Vanguard instance, I was talking about how like, you know, oh, I don't really use Vanguard guns. I never really played it that much, so I don't really know too much about them. And I know there's going to be someone in the comments being like, well, why'd you make this video? Dude, I hate to break the news to you, and I really don't want to put every other YouTuber on blast out there, but every other YouTuber that sits there and acts like they have 100 hours played and they know everything there is to know about every Call of Duty weapon in history is lying to you. Okay, and I don't want to lie to you guys because I know you're smart. You know what I mean? I know I got some older guys on here that are mature and understand. And so, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't have 100 hours played with every gun in COD history. I love COD. I'm one of the biggest COD fans you'll ever find. But it's just I don't want to lie. Is all I'm saying. I know this is a random rant in the middle of this video that makes no sense, but I just wanted to put it out there before people start commenting down below and get all grumpy because I don't know everything there is to know about every SMG in COD history off the top of my head. That, you know, the YouTubers that you are believing when they say that are not telling you the truth. Alright, rant out of the way though. 144th place is going to be going to the HG40 from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. It is a modernized version of an MP40, obviously. If you open this in a supply drop in Black Ops 3, just run for the hills because it is truly butt cheeks. Now, the DIY 11 Renovator I do think is the worst SMG in COD history. I said that before, but I don't. At least, like, there are definitely going to be people out there when they open that up that they're going to be excited because it's a fun weapon. It's a fun, different weapon to use, and it's cool in that regard. The HG40 just sucks in every way. It's way too low hit damage and extremely low fire rate, and it just doesn't work, man. However, coming in at the number 143rd spot is going to be going to the Bison from Call of Duty Ghosts, your starting SMG in Call of Duty Ghosts. Actually, I just recently used this for the starting SMGs video, and I actually did pretty good in that video with it, but that was because I was playing on free fall, and obviously on a smaller map it's going to be better. But yeah, I don't think that most people are going to enjoy the Bison. It's another one of those guns almost similar to the AUG in the sense where it's like an AR SMG hybrid, and so it doesn't really end up working out for either one of those scenarios. It has to be like the absolute perfect, like not medium range because then an AR will outgun you, but not close range because then an SMG will outgun you. A perfect mixture of close and medium range, and then that's like its peak moment, and that obviously never really happens that much, and so it makes the gun just kind of fall off. Actually, that is a perfect time. This is a perfect time for me to actually mention that even though this is my list, I will be the first to admit as well that there are other SMGs that do flourish over others in certain situations. I just want to make that abundantly clear because I know some people are going to be like, no, I used the Uzi on shipment 24/7 and it was so good. Well, yeah, obviously, because it's shipment 24/7 and you're using an Uzi. But I just want to put that out there, man, before people get all confused. Dude, I should have put this stuff in the freaking intro. I am just the worst YouTuber of all time, man, and you guys still stick with me. I just start rambling about random stuff in the middle of my videos. You guys are like, yeah, still, I'll watch this guy. It's like the worst thing ever. I'm so sorry, guys. Either way, coming in at number 142nd is the Milano 821 in Black Ops Cold War. No, it's not good. I'm sick and tired. Dude, when Black Ops Cold War first came out, there was an absolute cult following for this thing that got offended if you said the Milano was bad. They were like, no, it's so good. It's the best SMG in the game. No, it's not. No, it is not. It was never was, it never will be. The Milano sucks. Coming in at the 141st spot, talk about a fall from grace, barely missing out on the top 140, by the way, is the Wafa 28 from Call of Duty World War II. It is a cool looking gun. Actually, it reminds me a lot of the Trencher from Infinite Warfare. I think that's probably what the Trencher is based off of, if I had to guess. A very, very fast firing gun with a lot of recoil. At launch, this thing was freaking busted. As a matter of fact, a lot of the very, very fast firing SMGs with a lot of recoil at launch were busted. Think about the Vesper in Black Ops 3 or the Spitfire in Black Ops 4. They were almost always busted guns, and then they had to be nerfed. And unfortunately, the WAF's nerf was way too harsh and almost put the WAF into the ground. It's very useless nowadays. Again, sure, on shipment it's good because it's a close range map, but every other map it's too much recoil, runs out of ammo way too fast, and doesn't do enough damage. Breaking its way into the top 140, however, we are really moving up in the world here, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting to the point where these guns might as well be indicted into the Hall of Fame, because this is the MP5 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. You're starting SMG in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, actually, and yeah, you should just immediately swap to the UMP45. You start with the UMP45 and the MP5 in this game, but obviously when I say starting, I mean like the one that it puts on for your class, and that's the MP5. Go in there immediately the second you reach level 4 and change that out for the UMP, because the UMP is one of the best guns, spoiler alert, in Modern Warfare 3 for SMGs, and the MP5 is the worst besides the PM9. The MP5 in this game just freaking sucks. It doesn't hit the same. It's not good. And this is a perfect actual example of the people that are going to be like, well, in shipment, it's good. Coming in at number 139th place is the Uzi from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Modern Warfare 2019, I think, is actually the very first ever Call of Duty game to have a shipment 24/7, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, World War II, what am I talking about? I play that all the time. I'm an idiot. So either way, it had a shipment 24/7 for some time there, and yes, on shipment 24/7 the Uzi was broken, and it was really good in MW19 because you didn't have to deal with the problems of this gun at range, since there is no range battles in shipment, right? But then again, when you really start to think of it, it's like, dude, every SMG is good on shipment. If it's not good on shipment, that's a bad SMG. And yes, the Uzi was good on shipment, but again, any ranged battle with the Uzi and MW19 and it's not good. Even though this gun does have the gunsmith and has the added bonus of being able to add attachments that give it extreme range and no recoil, it still wasn't good enough. Coming in at number 138th place, I promise I don't hate this game, it's going to the Spectre from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Black Ops 1 in general just had a lot of weak weapons. Even the ARs that are like quote-unquote busted in Black Ops 1, I don't think if they added those exact models into like a game today, I don't think they would hold up. Black Ops 1 just had a weird system. The guns were weaker, and the Spectre is one of those. Again, it's definitely better than what we've talked about so far. The recoil on this is much more manageable than what we talked about. It doesn't run out of ammo as fast, but it still freaking is booty. It's really, really big booty cheeks, actually. As a matter of fact, is this the one that's classified? I don't think it is, but it might be. I might have been wrong when I said the Kapars is the classified SMG in this game. What did I say? I told you, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in at number 137th place is going to the Sten from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Again, the Sten was remastered so many times, I don't know why. Like, it's a cool gun, sure, but like, why was this gun remastered all the time? I don't get it. Is there that many fans of the Sten? I don't know. Either way, the Sten is cool, and it always will be cool, but the problem with it in Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare is they have jetpacks. Okay? And the Sten is a slow firing World War II gun. And you're gonna miss shots. It's not good enough. The Sten is just too slow firing. It's better than the HG40, sure, but that's not saying much. Coming in at 136th place is one that I never got to use back in the day. Well, that's the vast majority of Call of Duty World War II guns, but I actually have it now on my account because you get it for like prestiging the Resistance Division, I think, or the Cavalry Division. It's the ZK-383 from Call of Duty World War II. It's another very, very fast-firing gun. Actually, it reminds me a lot of the WAF-28, with a slightly less recoil than the WAF, though, so it's definitely better. And this gun has this weird little feature where you can shift the firing mode between slow firing for longer range engagements and fast firing for closer range engagements. So 9 times out of 10, you're just going to switch it to fast firing because you're going to play shipment 24/7. But it's at least something cool and noticeable. And I do like how the magazine looks on this gun. It looks cool. It reminds me of like a tuner sports car or something. 135th location is going to a extremely disappointing SMG, the AMR-9 from Modern Warfare 23. It is the last one you will unlock level-wise. I know that in that game you have to use like armory credits to unlock guns, though, so obviously that's different. But in terms of levels, this is the last one you unlock. As a matter of fact, it's the last gun you will unlock in that game. It's level 55, and it's just a big letdown. It doesn't do enough damage. That's just the main problem with the AMR-9. It's low on damage. It just feels weak. It almost feels like you are holding a just worse version of like an M4. And another big problem with the AMR-9, not fast enough. Like MW3 is obviously a very movement oriented Call of Duty, and the AMR-9 you can't move around too much with. That's not the case though with 134th place, because it is the Compact 92 from Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I do believe this is the worst Call of Duty Black Ops 6 SMG, and I will not go back on that. I hate this gun. I got dark matter in this game, man, and it was a nightmare every time I had to use the Compact 92. It is the only SMG in this entire game that will get a hit marker in hardcore. Like, what's the point, dude? The Compact 92, for those who don't know, is like the fast SMG of this game. It handles really quickly. It has an insanely fast fire rate, but the downside to all that is it has a lot of recoil and no damage. And as you can tell, so far, any gun like that has been here at the bottom of the list, and the Compact 92 is one of those. 133rd place could have been absolutely broken, and I would not have cared anyways. I still would have put it down here because of how ugly it is. It's the SN6 from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm not an Advanced Warfare hater, but I'll say the one thing I will say about this game is, goodness gracious, they missed on some of the freaking weapon designs in this game. Some of them, not all of them. Bal 27 looks freaking awesome. ASM1 looks freaking awesome. Morris looks awesome. As a matter of fact, the NA45, really cool looking gun. Atlas 20mm, cool looking gun. But the SN6, not a cool looking gun. It is a massive square with horrendous iron sights. It's bad. It's also probably like the most forgettable SMG in Call of Duty history as well. I guarantee most of you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, and it was in the base game. There's a reason for that. It sucked. Coming in at number 132nd spot, I guarantee this one will make some people mad, because I remember when I made my using every starting SMG video, I used this gun because it's the starting SMG in Black Ops 4, and people there was actually like 2 or 3 comments of people being like, oh my god, the MX9 was such a good gun from Black Ops 4. It's the MX9 from Black Ops 4. No, it's not. Sorry to break your bubble, but no, the MX9 is not a good SMG in Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 had some really busted SMGs, and the MX9 is not one of them. It suffers the same fate as the MX9 in Modern Warfare 2, the AUG and MW19, and any Striker 45 Modern Warfare 2019, and any other gun very similar to those, where the AMR-9 from Modern Warfare 3 too, where it just handles too slowly. It's a weird hybrid again that doesn't work. However, coming in at the 131st spot, barely missing out on the top 130, and the final one for the bad tier, before we get into the subpar tier, would you look at that, another tier out of the way, is the MAC-10 from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Black Ops Cold War's MAC-10 was busted. When this gun came out, I remember it was so freaking overpowered, it was insane. Everyone was using the MAC-10. It was honestly speaking probably one of the most overpowered guns in COD history when it first came out. Luckily, they nerfed it into the ground, and this thing is pretty freaking bad now in Cold War, especially when you start to consider the absolute behemoths that Cold War had for SMGs. This game had some busted SMGs, and the MAC-10 just doesn't hold up. But now we are into the subpar tier. So the weapons in this tier, still don't use them. Do not equip these in any real regards unless you're going for a camo challenge. But at least they're like somewhat viable. You might go on a Bloodthirsty with it. You might get a UAV with it. You'll be happy. But not that great. And breaking its way into the top 130 is the Minibok from Modern Warfare 22. It was different. The Bison has always kind of been a really interesting SMG in COD history. I feel like it just never really ends up working, and the Minibok is definitely one of those. I don't know, man. It just felt weak, and it felt the handling of this SMG in particular as well felt really, really slow. I just didn't like it. Coming in at 129th place, however, is going to be going back to Call of Duty Ghosts, actually, with the Vector CRB. Again, COD Ghosts is such a weird one when it comes to their SMGs, because I wouldn't say they were horrible or anything. Like, it's like, you could use some of them, especially some of the better ones, but they definitely were just, like, very forgettable, and the Vector CRB is one of those. Again, COD Ghosts, it's... the problem is the maps, realistically speaking. If you could find like a strike zone 24/7 or like a dome 24/7, whatever that remake was, Unearthed, I think it was called. If you could find like a game mode like that in Ghosts, then yeah, the Vector CRB might be pretty good because it's a closer range weapon. It's very fast firing with an insane recoil. But that's not how Ghost plays. Ghost is a very, very slow Call of Duty with very long, wide open maps, and these just don't work. And coming in at the number 128 spot, I'm going to make some people mad with this one too, because it's going to the P90 from Modern Warfare 2. The guns in the subpar tier, by the way, are guns where, realistically speaking, most of them are just very forgettable or overshadowed, if you will. They're just like, they're not like actually horrendous or anything like that, but they're just like, why would you ever really use them? And that's exactly how I feel about the P90 from Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 had the freaking UMP, dude. It had the MP5K. Why would you use the P90 over those? It wasn't good enough. It had a good thing going, and that was the fact that it had like 50 rounds in the mag. That's obviously good, but I felt like they felt like they had to make it a downside because of that, and so the downside was the damage. And coming in at 127th spot, a gun that I never got to use and don't really know too much about it, so I had to look up what the community was thinking about it when I did. It's the Fang 45 from Call of Duty 4 Remastered, and pretty much the community was saying that this gun is very similar to guns in the same regards as the AUG, if you will, the MX9, where it's a very slow handling and not good enough damage-wise weapon to justify using it in any sort of instance, you know what I mean? Like, it's too slow for close range engagements, and then not enough damage and not enough damage range for longer range engagements, and so it falls off. It's unfortunate, because I do think this gun looks really cool, actually. I kind of want to unlock it just because I like how it looks. And going right back to the game that I don't know anything about, 126th spot is going to the Type 100 in Call of Duty Vanguard. I'm going to be blatantly obvious. This is another Vanguard weapon where I don't think I've used it once yet. I am trying to go back. I was actually recently, like literally just 2 days ago, playing Vanguard and trying to use every weapon in that game for an entire match just to see like just to see what they feel like at their base. But I haven't gotten to SMGs yet, and the Type 100 I haven't used yet. But people online were saying it's a very, very subpar, average, below average, whatever you want to call it, SMG in the game. And so that's why it's here in the subpar tier. Coming in at the number 125 spot, however, my cat is currently attacking my arm because I'm trying to move a little bit because I'm uncomfortable. It's hurting my booty cheeks, and so I'm moving, and he's not liking it. It's the HLX4 from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I want to say something really quick and just get it off my chest. I love how the HLX4 looks. I really do. I have there's like a little guilty pleasure about me and the HLX4 and Switchblade X9s. I don't know. I like this design, and I think they're really cool weapons, and they fire so fast when they fire. But the problem is the same reason why the micro MG is so low. It has a spool up time. You have to hold the trigger before it actually starts firing, and then once it starts firing, it fires very fast and melts. Obviously, if this gun didn't have that spool thing, it would be absolutely broken, but I do think the spool thing kind of obviously ruins the gun too. And 124th spot is just a slightly newer version of that. I can't imagine it's much better. It's the Switchblade X9 from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Yeah, it's the same thing as the HLX4, just newer and in Black Ops 4. I don't know why they did it twice in Black Ops 4, added 2 SMGs where it has like a spool up time with the micro MG and the Switchblade, but either way, they're both not going to be that great. I do think this one's a little bit better just because it does have it handles a lot faster because it's so much smaller and lighter weight, and it has a very fast fire. Dude, these things melt once they get going, but it's just so unfortunate that they have to do that little get going thing first because they are really cool weapons. 1, 2, 3, as easy as ABC. It's going to the M38 in Call of Duty World War II. I've never used this gun. Yeah, I've never used the M38 in World War II. I have seen some people using it though, so that's better than the Orso. Well, you know what I mean? I'll give that to the Orso. It's got something going for it here. But again, it's the vast majority of people are not touching the M38 in COD World War II. It just seems like it's very, very subpar, very, very average. That's kind of the problem with having a Call of Duty like World War II, where there's 20 SMGs in the game. Some of them are, even though they might not be like actually horrible, they're just going to fall off and just be forgotten about because there's 20 freaking weapons to choose from. And so in order for it to really stand out, it's got to be extremely good or extremely bad. And obviously you don't want to stand out in the bad way. And so it just kind of falls off. Coming in at 122nd, however, Jesus, man, I'm just starting to realize, like, dude, we have 122 more entries to talk about. This is going to be forever. Either way, it's the ISO from Modern Warfare 2019. Kind of suffers the same fate as things like the Uzi in MW19, where it's clearly supposed to be a very, very close range gun. This thing has very, very high recoil rate, very, very fast fire rate, and it kind of melts through its own ammo. But if you can catch somebody off guard up close, it's a movement based gun, obviously, right? And so again, yeah, maps like Shipment, busted. Anything else, not good enough. It has no range, dude. What are you gonna do if the enemy is standing more than 5 feet away from you? You're gonna have to write him a letter, give it to a carrier pigeon, wait for the carrier pigeon to deliver it, then hope that by the time he reads the letter, he hasn't killed you by now, so that he can see it says, "Truce, please," and then he won't kill you. That's the only possible option for you killing somebody with an ISO in your hands when they're more than 5 feet away. Coming in at number 121 spot, barely missing out on the top 120, is going to the Bullfrog from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Again, another gun that has like a cult following behind it. There's a lot of SMGs like that, dude. There's so many SMGs where people are like, "Dude, it's so good," and I'm just like, wait, how? Wait, who is saying that? I'm not an owl, I'm still me. I was just so flabbergasted that I couldn't speak for a second there, because the Bullfrog, it's just so boring, dude. This thing is just so subpar. It's unbelievable. It's like, yeah, it has no recoil, and that's a good thing, obviously, but it handles too slow. It has no damage. Yes, it can hold like 1,000 rounds in the magazine. Cool. Doesn't matter if the gun doesn't do anything. However, breaking its way into the top 120 is going to be going to the P90 from Call of Duty 4, the OG COD 4 P90. I think it's probably, realistically speaking, the same asset as the Modern Warfare 2 P90 is. Really, like, let's be honest, it's probably the same thing, but I think it's much better in COD 4 just because the competition is nowhere near as fierce as Modern Warfare 2's competition. MW2 has ACR. You know what I mean? It has a UMP. COD 4, what does it have? The M16? Like, yeah, it's busted, but there's not that much other busted guns in COD 4. So the P90 definitely seems a little bit better in that game than it is in MW2. Dude, I don't care what anybody says. This is an underrated gun. 119th spot is going to be going to the MPL from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. One of the best Black Ops 1 SMGs, and it's all the way down here at number 119th. Still bad, because it's Black Ops 1. Dude, SMGs and BO1 were just so butthole. But this one I do think was underrated. I think people slept on this gun because they just thought it was bad, because like nobody was using it because why would you use it when you compare it to the AK-74U or MP5K? And so yeah, it makes sense why no one was using it for that regard, but it doesn't mean nobody was using it because it was horrible. Nobody was using any SMG besides the AK-74U or the MP5K. This one was good. It didn't have insane recoil, it had a good enough amount of ammo in the mag, and it had a decent damage range. It was a fine weapon, it just wasn't good enough. Coming in at 118th spot, holy smokes, Batman, talk about a freaking forgotten gun. It's going to the MP11 from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Reminds me very, very much of things like the Milano 821, the CBJMS from Ghosts. It is one of those style guns where the magazine is kind of like in the handle, which is interesting, and it's like kind of looks boring, if I'm being honest. And the gun itself is very just boring too. It's just like, I mean, dude, even if this gun was good, it's another one of those guns where it's like, even if it was good, was it actually going to get that popular? Probably not, because the gun just looks so, like, nobody wants to use this thing, man. It's boring. But luckily it wasn't that good. It was subpar. That's why it's here. Yeah, like I said, subpar tier is pretty much the forgettable tier, because coming in at the 117th spot is going to the Austin from Call of Duty World War II, another DLC weapon, obviously, one that I have not been able to acquire myself, and one that I do not see a lot of people using. I actually, for like the first time in my World War II career so far, did see somebody using the Austin actually yesterday, and he was actually popping off with it. However, after the match, I went into headquarters and he was there, and so I looked at the screen to see the leaderboards. He was 18th in the world. His name was like Prayise or something, Prayise. That was his name, Prayise or something. And yeah, so even though he was using it, doesn't mean the gun was actually good. It's just that guy could have done freaking good with the M1 Garand in that game. It doesn't matter. He was just a good player. But the Austin itself, very, very, very mid-average weapon. And coming in at 116th, this tier is really, realistically speaking, like the tier for guns that are not good enough in terms of handling or damage. You know what I mean? Like there's always a better option, because at 116th is the FSS Hurricane from Modern Warfare 22. It's a very, very, I know I keep sounding like a broken record here, but it's the same style weapon where it doesn't handle fast like an SMG, but it doesn't have no range like an SMG, but at the same time it doesn't have the same range as an AR. You know what I mean? It's like a weird combo, and it just never ends up really working. The FSS Hurricane is a cool looking gun though, I'll give it that, but everything else about it just kind of falls off. Holy freaking wow. 115th place, man. He's going to be going to the MACTAV 45 from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Talk about a freaking fall from grace. This is the obvious UMP 45 remastered, and they put it in Infinite Warfare. And this is the only gun, again, in this entire list that is not actually in the SMGs class. It's in the Classics class in Infinite Warfare, but obviously it's supposed to be an SMG, so that's why it's here. And it is not good. Not good enough. Think about how it's kind of realistic, you know, because obviously a gun from modern times would not really hold up 20 or 100, I don't know when Infinite Warfare is set, but 50 years from now, you know what I mean? But yeah, it definitely shows its age. 114th place, another one of those guns where I guarantee people are going to be like, dude, I use this on shipment all the time and get like so many good kills. It's the WSP Swarm from Modern Warfare 23. Obviously, it's a shipment style weapon. It's an Uzi, or like a MAC-10 almost, pretty much. It's a very, very small weapon that you're supposed to run around and you have insane movement speed, insane aim down sight speed, insane sprint to fire speed, all that stuff, but the damage and range and recoil is really, really bad. It runs out of ammo fast, yada, yada, yada. We've heard it all before. It's fine because it is a modern Call of Duty, so it's like you can just change it into being good if you want to with the gunsmith, but it's definitely not holding a candle to the other Modern Warfare 23 weapons, and there are some freaking busted Modern Warfare 23 SMGs, and this is not one of them. 113th place, again, this is the forgettable tier, man. I'm telling you, this is the forgettable tier, because this is the AMR9 from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Did you remember this gun existed? Don't think so. I doubt it. And if you're sitting there saying, yeah, I did, Mark, I remembered it existed, stop lying. Stop lying. It is a sin. The AMR9 is like a 3-round, 2-round, something round burst SMG in Advanced Warfare. That just wasn't good enough. It was, again, things like the AUG, same thing I've already said multiple times now, applies to the AMR9. Just too slow, and the damage was not good enough. However, 112th place, again, very forgettable, don't get me wrong, but cool in its own regards. It's going to the Vepr from Call of Duty Ghosts. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's VEPR, so I'm going to assume that means Vepr. But it's a bullpup SMG. That doesn't happen very often. There's not a lot of bullpup SMGs in Call of Duty history, and this is one of them. And so that is cool. It stands out in that way. It also looks really interesting. It kind of reminds you of like the Sarkov 7.62 and Black Ops 6, but SMG form, if you will. And it's cool. Do I think it's good or anything? No, definitely not. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's gonna be breaking any records. You're not gonna be going home and telling your mama about this gun or anything, but you might tell your father. You know, you might tell him while he's sleeping. 111, coming in at the number 111th spot, barely missing out on the top 110, is going to the Type 100 from Call of Duty World at War. World at War suffers from a big problem with their SMGs. The MP40 exists. Because the MP40 exists, the SMGs have to be extremely good to even stand a chance, and the Type 100 unfortunately was not. It was still good, and I do think it's definitely a miles better than the Thompson, but it's got a problem. I will say, of all the SMGs in World at War, though, this one does feel like the best one to use at any sort of range. But then again, it's like, why would you really need an SMG for that? And breaking its way into the top 110 is going to the Marco 5 from Call of Duty Vanguard. Yeah, I'm just going to put it out there because I've already said it multiple times already. Haven't used the Marco 5, don't know much about it. I know that it looks kind of cool, and apparently it's a very, very fast handling SMG in the game. It's one of the faster ones. You run around with this one on shipment 24/7, where you use the other ones on more bigger 6v6 style maps. And apparently people were saying it's subpar in Vanguard, which is why it's here in the subpar tier. And coming in at 109th place, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. It's going to the ISO 9mm from Modern Warfare 22. This is not the ISO 45. I want to make that abundantly clear. The ISO 45 is actually a pretty decent gun in this game, whereas the ISO 9mm is just not really. The ISO 9mm is obviously a 9mm caliber round, whereas the ISO 45 is a 45 caliber round. So the 45 one is slightly slower in terms of its handling, but it pays off drastically, whereas the ISO 9mm is just too weak at any sort of range. And yes, it's faster handling than the ISO 45, but it doesn't really matter. As a matter of fact, it's not something you really want in most maps, especially in modern warfare maps, dude. They're huge. Coming in at the number 108th spot is one that I think some people underrate. I've heard a lot of people hating on this gun, saying it's one of the worst guns in Modern Warfare 23, and I do not agree. It's the Ram 9 from Modern Warfare 23. It's an MTAR pretty much. And it's a bullpup SMG. Again, really cool. Love when I see that. But this one is, again, I hear so many people like badmouth the Ram 9 in MW23. They say it's not really a good enough SMG because it does have one of the weaker like speeds, you know what I mean, movements, handling, or whatever. The Ram 9 is definitely one of the weaker ones for that, but it doesn't really need it. It's not, I guess it's not really trying to go for that, and it works in its own regards. I also love the iron sights of the Ram 9, man. The MTAR iron sights have always kind of worked. Coming in at 107th spot is a DLC SMG in World War II that I actually do have. So haha, eat that, Mrs. Puff. It's the Sterling from Call of Duty World War II. Yeah, I got this thing. And you want to know how I got this thing? Not by spending 5,000 armory credits to buy a contract. No sirree, Bob. I got it in a freaking supply drop. It felt like Christmas when I got this thing. It was awesome. But then I used it and I was immediately disappointed. It's very, very subpar. It's got like no recoil, so that's kind of cool, but it also has absolutely no fire rate whatsoever. Yet again, another gun where you would be better off just reloading a musket over and over again and shooting that because of how slow the fire rate is. Good iron sights, good handling speeds, good damage and good damage range, just way too low of a fire rate. Another fall from grace gun, man. There's been a couple so far already. We talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about the WAF 28 from World War II, that fell from grace. We talked about the MACTAV 45 in Infinite Warfare, that fell from grace. And this is the Weevil from Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which had an obvious massive fall from grace. This is the futuristic version of the P90, and it didn't work out. At first it did. At first, for those who don't know, the Weevil was freaking busted in BO3. It was a really good gun in BO3 at launch, and then they nerfed it and made it really bad. It has like no recoil, which is good, obviously, and it's got a pretty decent damage range for an SMG, but its fire rate is way too slow and its handling speeds are way too slow. Okay, all right, guys, listen. I'm being nice here, okay? Don't get mad at me. Honestly, I wanted to put it a little bit lower. Coming in at 105th spot is going to the Tanto 22 from Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Another gun that, like the, what was the other one we were talking about earlier? I forget what it was. What was it that we were talking about? Let me find it real quick because everybody was talking about it. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, the Bullfrog from Black Ops Cold War. A weapon where everybody was like, oh my god, it's so good. It's the best gun in COD history. It's the best SMG in the game. And I did not see that at all. Every time I use the Tanto 22, I can't do anything. This gun alone, in my opinion, proves skill-based damage. I never can do anything with this gun, man. It's ridiculous. And then other people will use it against me, and I get 2 or 3 shotted. It has, for those who don't know, it has a stupidly slow fire rate. That's like its catch, you know. It's got like no fire rate on it. But apparently, it does a lot of damage. Not for me. Not for me. I'm scammed. Every time I use this gun, it does nothing for damage. I'm shooting popcorn kernels at the guy. Sorry for my rant there, but I'm sick and tired of people glazing the Tanto 22. It's subpar, man. Either way, coming in at 104th place, and the last one for the subpar tier, before we get into the average tier, is the HVR from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I know it's kind of weird because this is clearly supposed to be some sort of UMP 45 futuristic version, and then they added the MACTAV 45 into Infinite Warfare, which is obviously a UMP 45, so I know it's weird how they did that, but either way, that's what it is. This is kind of supposed to be. And the HVR, it just wasn't good enough when you compare them to the other SMGs in Infinite Warfare because of one reason and one reason only: the damage. The HVR just didn't have enough damage. It felt weak, and that's obviously enough to draw people away from it. No, coming in, oh baby, coming in at number 103 spot, and the first one for the average tier. So guns in this tier are going to be just like, you're not mad, you know, you're not mad using them. You'll use them every once in a while, but you're not going to be too excited. But coming in at 103rd in the first one for the average tier is the Peacekeeper from Call of Duty Black Ops 2, the world's Call of Duty's first ever DLC gun, and obviously because of that, it was freaking glazed to the moon and back. People were glazing this thing without even knowing what they were talking about, because I honestly don't think the Peacekeeper is as good as people remember it. I play Black Ops 2 still to this day, and let me tell you, man, not a lot of people are using the Peacekeeper, okay? It's really not that great. It's average. It's cool, and it looks cool and everything, and realistically, it probably should have been an assault rifle. It should have just upped the damage a little bit and slowed down the handling speeds a tad bit and made it an assault rifle. But yeah, it's not good enough. I think people are looking at this one with rose tinted glasses. Coming in at 102nd, however, only one gun from Call of Duty Black Ops 1 manages to make it out of the 100, by the way, because this is second place. This is, in my opinion, the second best SMG in Black Ops 1. It's the MP5K from Black Ops 1. Your starting SMG, actually, in Call of Duty Black Ops 1, and it is really freaking good for a Black Ops 1 SMG, but really freaking average in the grand scheme of every other SMG. Again, I've said it multiple times now. Actually, I think I've said it on every single entrance into Black Ops 1 because I forget things, but Black Ops 1 SMGs were not good. They were not good enough. The MP5K was decent, and so that made it really good for Black Ops 1 standards, but again, for the rest of the SMGs, it was decent. Coming in at 101st place, 101 Dalmatians, and barely missing out on the top 100 is the Vector from Modern Warfare 2. Sorry, Modern Warfare 2 fans, it didn't quite make it to the top 100. I don't think the Vector is all that it's cracked up to be. Some people try to go out there and tell me, hey man, the Vector's underrated. You actually never used the Vector the same way I used the Vector. It was actually pretty good. No, I don't think it really was. The Vector was fine. It wasn't bad. I'm not saying that. It was average. I think it was very, very average. The Vector's obvious problem was its range drop off and its insane fire rate and its recoil pattern. And so again, on a game like Modern Warfare 2, where some of the maps were huge, you're not going to use the Vector. You're not going to, realistically speaking, you're not going to really use any SMG on maps like freaking Wasteland or something. But even on maps like Underpass, the Vector might not be a good enough option. Whereas guns like the MP5K and UMP45, you could get away with that on Underpass. Raking its way into the top 100. That sound like the start of a radio channel that you used to listen to in your dad's Chevy Silverado on a Sunday when you were 10 years old. I sure hope so, because breaking its way into the top 100, man, we're here. Not even halfway through this list. It feels insane to say that, but yeah, we're not halfway through yet. It's the UGR from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I have been able to use this one because most Black Ops Cold War guns I do not have, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But I have all the SMGs, so that's good. The UGR was disappointing, and it really disappointing, if I'm being honest, because I really liked how it looked. I thought it was a really cool looking weapon, but then when I actually picked it up, it just didn't feel good enough. It just felt really weak, especially in Black Ops Cold War, which yet again had some freaking broken SMGs. 99th place, 99th place is going to be going to the wonderful Lockman Sub from MW22. This is the MP5 in MW22, not the Lockman Shroud. There's two of them in this game. The Lockman Shroud has an integrated suppressor. This is the one without the integrated suppressor, and I think it's definitely weaker than the one with the integrated suppressor. It's another pretty big fall from grace gun, honestly, because MW19, the game before this one, pretty much, I mean, I know Vanguard and Black Ops Cold War were in between it, but it was the last Modern Warfare game. The MP5 in that game was freaking great, spoiler alert, and then in this game, yeah, it just doesn't, it never really hit the same, man. I think just Modern Warfare 22, I think the problem is that it just had some better SMGs. And coming in at the wonderful 98th location, however, it's going to one of the world's ugliest SMGs in COD history, because it's going to the Raijin EMX in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Yeah, like I said, man, this thing is horrendously bad looking. It is not good looking in the slightest bit whatsoever. However, in terms of actually using it, it was fine. It was relatively pretty freaking mid. It is another 3-round burst SMG, which is, you guys already know how I feel about those, man. I'm not really the biggest fan of those. I'd rather just have a full auto one. And then with the looks on it too, I don't know. Like, there were people out there that definitely liked the Raijin EMX, but I just couldn't get behind it, man. It's just not my style, I think. Alrighty, coming in at number 97 spot. I feel like we're making up some good time here, guys. What do you guys think? I don't know how it's actually going to look in terms of actually editing this video. We're probably at like an hour already, and I sound like an idiot right now. But I feel like we're doing good, man. I feel like we're wrapping up through these. We're getting everything I want to say out of the way, and, you know, just keeping it around 40 seconds per clip. It's going good. Either way, 97th place is the M1928 from Call of Duty Vanguard. It's the Thompson. And the reason why I said that I think I'm doing good, by the way, is because I could talk about each one of these guns individually for 10 minutes straight, and luckily I'm holding myself back. But the M1928, like I said, it's the Thompson from Vanguard, and it's just apparently not good enough. I actually do think I got to use this one because it's one of like the beginning SMGs in Call of Duty Vanguard, so I do feel like I probably have some time with this thing, and I can't really remember using it that much in Vanguard, so that's not a good sign, obviously. Oh, talk about a fall from grace yet again. Coming in at 96th place is going to be going to the MP40 from Call of Duty World War II. This gun you get for prestiging the infantry division, actually, in this game, for those who didn't know. And it reminds me a lot of the grease gun, actually, but it's almost like, okay, so take the grease gun and put the fire rate up just a little bit, and put the recoil down just a little bit, and that's pretty much what this gun is. It's just better, in my opinion, in every single way over the grease gun from Call of Duty World War II. It's not great. It's still way too slow firing to use as an SMG in this game, but it's definitely better than others. Coming in at 95th place is one of those guns, you know how every time you think of a certain Call of Duty, a certain gun just pops into your head? And sometimes they make no sense because they're not broken, they're not great guns or anything, but they just pop in your head. You just remember those guns for some reason. This is that gun for Black Ops 4 for me. The GKS from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Whenever I think of Black Ops 4, I think of this gun for some reason. And it's so mid. It is such an average SMG. It's unbelievable. Its catch is that it's kind of like a beginner's SMG almost, where it's like super easy to control, super easy to handle, but it's not broken in any single way. It's a jack of all trades, master of none kind of SMG in this game. But I don't know why every time I think of Black Ops 4, I think of the GKS. It's so weird to me. I don't know why that happens, but it does. Actually, speaking of which, you know what I should add as a video idea? I'm going to do a video where it's like every gun in Call of Duty every gun that I think of whenever I think about each Call of Duty. I don't know how I'm going to word that though, because that's going to be really hard to describe in a title, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. Either way, I think that would be a good video. Coming in at 94th place, however, is going to be going to the MP40 from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Another problem with the whole old guns being in the futuristic jetpack CODs, the same thing with the Sten, same thing with the Trencher in Infinite Warfare, same thing with the Sten in Black Ops 3, same thing with the HG40 in Black Ops 3. They fire too slow, and in jetpack Call of Duties, you need a faster firing gun because you're going to miss some shots since these guys are going to be jumping around like crazy, and if you're missing shots on a gun that shoots 2 rounds per 1 million years, obviously you're running into a problem. And coming in at the number 93 spot is going to be going to the PP 919 from Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's the PP19 Bison, obviously, that we all know and love, the PP90M1, if you will. And again, another one of those guns where people were like, "Oh, it's so broken, dude, it's so good in Black Ops 6," and I was just kind of like, I never really understood it. I will say though, if you're one of the people that put the freaking like 30 round mag on it to make it like handle better, you're a disservice to the entire Call of Duty community. Don't do that. You do not do that on a PP90. It's just not what you do. Okay, you keep the mag. It looks cool. Coming in at 92nd place, yeah, it's not much better than the other one, but I do think it's slightly better. It's the Lockman Shroud from Modern Warfare 22. Like I said, this is the same thing as the last one. It's the MP5, but this one has an integrated suppressor. Because of the integrated suppressor, it does drop off in terms of range a slight bit and everything like that. And it does actually have a slightly less like good numbers or whatever. But because of the integrated suppressor, it feels so much better because you got a suppressor. So people can't see you running around and you don't really have a choice. And the problem with modern CODs, in my opinion, is I never put suppressors on my guns because you have so many options, and I never put them on there because I always feel like I'm doing myself a disservice. However, coming in at the number 91st spot and barely missing out on the top 90 is going to be going to the MP5K from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Your starting SMG in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and it's a very, very good one, a very, very decent one. Hate the looks of this gun, though. I'm going to be the first to say it, man. I am not a fan of the looks of the MP5K and MW2. I think the MP5K on Black Ops 1 looks way cooler than this, but either way, it's a pretty freaking decent option. Again, obviously not going to be great for any ranged maps, which is the problem with MW2 SMGs in general, but it's fine. Does it hold a candle to the UMP? Definitely not, but it's a good start. You'll be happy with it. And breaking its way into the top 90, my good friends, is going to be going to the Nambu Type 2 from Call of Duty World War II. This is actually one of the very first DLC weapons I got on my new account in World War II. I got this thing for 5,000 armory credits as a contract, and I was so excited when I got it. I was like, finally a DLC weapon. And then I used it, and I was just kind of like, okay. It's fine. Actually, one of the things I do like about the Nambu 22 is the iron sights. I really like the iron sights on this gun. It looks really interesting, but there's just something about the way this gun handles. It doesn't feel like an SMG. It almost feels like an assault rifle in this game, and with the damage of an SMG, it just kind of becomes forgettable, if I'm being honest. And coming in at the wonderful 89th place is going to be going to the Sten from Call of Duty Vanguard. Yep, like I said, man, the Sten just never really has been a great gun. I'm just going to be honest. This is one of the best Stens we've ever gotten, and it's still mid at best. Like, this thing is just, dude, the Sten is not great. I don't know why people love it so much. I do like its iron sights, and the Sten in Vanguard, again, apparently it's fine. It's one of the average SMGs in this game, but obviously being average is not good enough. You need something that's busted, and this is just not that. And coming in at the number 88 spot, why did I say it like that? Coming in at the number 88 spot is going to be going to the Vector K10 from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It's the Vector. Yeah, it's the Vector. It's a pretty, honestly speaking, it reminds me very much of the Vector from MW2. It feels a little bit better in this game for sure, but not by enough to be like, wow, it's leagues better. It's in its own tier. It's fine. Black Ops 2 again does the same thing with the Cheekum CQB we talked about earlier. Suffers from the problem of the fact that it has some broken SMGs, and the Vector is just, it's not good enough at any range. When you like, you're not going to win a gunfight against an MSMC or MP7 at range with the Vector, and you're not going to win an up-close gunfight with the Scorpion Evo, so it's just not good enough. However, coming in at the number 87 spot is probably the most forgettable gun in Modern Warfare 23, the FJX Horus from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 23. Apparently, people online were saying, I've used this gun plenty of times, actually. I think I got a gold on my last, on my other account, but I've used this gun a lot, but I never used the Jack variant. Apparently, people online are saying that the Jack variant is like much better and makes the gun broken. We're not obviously ranking the Jack variants because that would be stupid, but yeah, I guess if for those who are like seeking to use the FJX Horus, use the Jack variant. Apparently, it makes it better. But in my experience using it, it just felt lackluster. Felt like it needed a little bit more damage in order for it to be decent, and it just didn't really have it. And coming in at 86th place is going to a gun I never got to use, sadly, but I've seen a lot of people using it. The AK-74U from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Really cool gun. AK-74U, man, it's just an iconic weapon. As a matter of fact, I think this is the first time we've gotten to talk about an AK-74U, because that's how iconic they are, man. They're good guns. Almost every time they come back with an AK-74U, it's good. And this one is definitely weak. It's one of the weaker AK-74Us because of the same reason why guns like the Sten and HG40 are in these games. It's an older style gun in a jetpack COD. It just doesn't work unless it has an insane fire rate, and it just doesn't. However, coming in at the wonderful number 85 spot is going to be going to the PK PSD9 from COD 4. Apparently this gun is a pistol that you, like the Procolot pistol, but just with like a freaking kit on it, and then it becomes its own gun, I guess. Whatever, I don't know what that means, but pretty much it's a 3-round burst pistol SMG hybrid, and it shoots pretty fast for a 3-round burst thing and everything like that, but it has like no recoil, and that's its catch. And that's obviously really good in COD 4 because COD 4 does have a lot of recoil. This is back in the old days, man. You new gens don't know how good you got it, but yeah, back in the old days we actually had to pull down on our sticks to control our weapons, and so if it does that for you, it's obviously pretty good, and apparently that's what the PK PSD9 does. And coming in at the lucky number 84 spot, that's not a lucky number at all, I was just kidding, is going to be going to the ERAD from Infinite Warfare. This is your starting SMG in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. After I talk about the ERAD, I'm going to take a break and drink some freaking water, dude. My mouth is parched. Also, I think we've passed the halfway point at this point. It was 86th. 86th was the halfway point, so we have passed the halfway point now. Let's go. But yeah, the ERAD is a fine start SMG. The second you unlock another SMG in the game, though, do I think you should get rid of it? Probably. It doesn't feel bad, but it definitely is not something you're going to go right home about, man. It's just mid. All right, guys, I replenished. I drank some ginger ale, and then after that, drink some water. So get nice and hydrated. Coming in at the number 83 spot, 83rd place, is going to be going to the Sten from Call of Duty World War II. Just like every single other Sten we've talked about so far, I'm just going to say it. The Sten is so overrated. I don't know why they're bringing it back in every single Call of Duty. It makes sense in this one. Obviously, it's a World War II shooter. I get it, but don't get it for like every other COD. This is one of the ones I do have. It was one of the first ever released DLC weapons too, so I do have it on my PlayStation account and my Xbox account now because I got it in a supply drop recently. And it's a good SMG. Honestly, you know what it feels like to me? It feels like the Sterling that we talked about earlier, but just slightly better in every single way. There was a ginger ale. I apologize. That was gross. Coming in country roads to a place Called the 82nd is the P90 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Realistically speaking, just like we talked about earlier with the COD 4 and MW2 P90, this is probably the same asset from those two games, but for some reason the P90 in this game just feels so freaking nice. I don't know what it is, but using the P90 in MW3 feels so good. Is it better than the PP90M1? No. Is it better than the MP7? No. Is it better than the UMP45? No. But is it freaking cool? Yes, and it's fun to use. Not that much recoil, especially for an SMG and older Call of Duties. Iron sights are really iconic. It's good, just not enough damage, really. However, coming in at the wonderful 81st spot, barely missing out on the top 80, is going to be going to the Ball Sack 3s from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. These are 9 times out of 10 dual wielded. I do think you can use them without dual wielding them, but most people dual wield them. I don't think I've ever seen them not being dual wielded. And so that's pretty cool. Actually, I actually do like the designs of these. They kind of remind me of like a Vector almost, which is interesting. And I think it's style. It's just style on us for sure. But in terms of actual damage and stuff like that, not enough range. That's its main problem. And it needs a lot more range than what it's got. And breaking its way into the top 80, my good friends, is going to be going to the C9 from Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This is your starting SMG in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's an MP5. Okay? Yeah, that's what it is. Stop lying to us, Call of Duty. C9. No, that's not what it's called. It's called the MP5, clearly. And it's fine. It's a fine starting SMG. It handles really nice. It does a nice amount of damage. Has some decent range. Fine recoil pattern, but it's going to be outgunned by a lot of guns at a lot of different scenarios. Even, especially in the SMGs, guys. There are some busted SMGs in this game. Coming in at 79th place is unfortunately a very, very forgettable gun in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 22. The BAS-P, it's clearly supposed to be an MPX, which we all know and love. If you've ever played like Battlefield games or Rainbow Six Siege, you know the MPX. That's clearly what this is supposed to be based off of, but obviously they couldn't use that name, I guess, so they called it the BAS-P, and it's fine. It's just kind of a letdown, if I'm being honest. Like, there are just, again, really busted guns in MW22, and the BAS-P is not one of them. It's always one of those ones where I just kind of like, it just kind of like floods my, like, leaves my brain out of nowhere for some reason. Okay, but coming in at 78th place, this gun does not leave my brain. This gun I do think about quite a bit whenever I think of Black Ops Cold War. It's one of the guns that pops into my mind for sure. It's a very memorable weapon, in my opinion. It's the Lapa from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Is it great? No, it's not that great, so I don't know why I think about it all the time. But for some reason, it just pops into my mind every once in a while. It comes by and says, "Hello, how's it going, Mark? You doing good?" And I'm like, "Nope, not at all. I got ADHD and I can't remember anything that I think about." Okay, Mark, well, I'm gonna leave now. And it's a great time. The Lapa itself is a fun weapon to use. It looks really cool. I like it, but is it broken or anything like that? Definitely not, especially in Cold War, where, like I said, they got some good weapons. And coming in at 77th place is such a forgotten weapon, I feel like. I feel like nobody ever talks about this thing. It's a Razorback from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. It's the last SMG you unlock in this game, and it's kind of a weird one. It's almost like a SMG AR hybrid, if you will. It's definitely the lowest recoil but slower firing SMG of the SMG class in Black Ops 3, but I've always loved the Razorback, man. I love the iron sights. I love the way it looks. It's a bullpup weapon, which is cool, and it does a decent number of damage, and it just feels very satisfying to use. Like, even thinking about it right now is making me want to go play Black Ops 3 and use it. Like, it's just such a satisfying, good SMG. Alright, sorry, but I'm going to butcher this name. Coming in at the number 76 spot is going to the Blizkowicza. It probably is, like, it's Polish, so I'm assuming, so it probably actually is pronounced like quick, because that's how Polish people pronounce letters for some reason. They just, like, 9 times out of 10 the letters are silent for some reason in the Polish language. I don't get it, but either way, it's from Call of Duty World War II, of course, and it's a decent SMG. Very forgettable SMG, though, I'll be honest. This gun just doesn't look cool in any way whatsoever. It just looks so boring and just bland. I don't have this one in World War II, but I've seen a couple people using it here and there. Definitely not anything broken or nothing to write home about, but one that, yeah, when you unlock it, you'll probably be like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then move on. And coming in at the number 75 spot, and the first one to go, the first COD game to drop off the list here, because it's the best gun in Black Ops 1, obviously. It's the AK-74U from Black Ops 1. Yep, again, man, Black Ops 1 unfortunately just did not have a strong lineup of SMGs, and this is definitely its best option that you do have. The AK-74U is good in that game, and it's decent and everything like that, but again, are you going to use the AK-74U over the Galil? Are you going to use it over the FAMAS? Are you going to use it over the Commando or the AK-47? Most likely not. I mean, I guess it depends on the map, you can say, because you could say on Nuketown you might use it, but I would say 9 times out of 10, it's a no-go. So unfortunately, the Black Ops 1 is the first to fall, and the AK-74U, in my opinion, is the best gun in that game. I realized I just said best gun in that game. Obviously I meant best SMG in that game. My bad. Either way, coming in at 74th place is going to be going to the H4 Blixen from Call of Duty Vanguard. Guess what, partner? I got to use this thing. That's right. That's right. I have a little bit of time played with this gun because I unlocked it. Like one of the first guns that I unlocked on Vanguard for some reason when I went back to start playing it this year. And I was just like, oh, cool. New DLC weapon. Let's use it. And I used it. Didn't feel that great or anything. I didn't feel like I was using a broken SMG. As a matter of fact, I was using the MP40 when I unlocked it. And that one feels just better than it in every way. But it's a cool weapon, I guess. And I'm sure there are people out there that will like using it. Has a weird recoil pattern, though. I did not like this gun's recoil pattern. And coming in at the number 73rd spot is going to be going to the PP19 Bison from MW19. MW19, again, has some pretty good SMGs in its game, and this is definitely just one of the forgettable ones. It's just, it feels like, honestly, if you took the AUG and the Striker, the slower firing, slower handling, but not that much recoil and better range SMGs, and just made those actually a pretty decent option and viable in the game. That's what this gun feels like. However, the problem with MW19 is there is one gun that just doesn't have any recoil as an SMG, and we'll talk about that later. And so guns like this just kind of get overshadowed. And also, I like Bisons, but I don't know, like every time in COD that they make a Bison, I always kind of think it looks kind of boring. And coming in at the number 72nd spot, and the final one for the average tier before we get into the good tier, is the Damon 3XB from Call of Duty Black Ops 4, a 3-round burst SMG that handles very, very fast. It almost reminds you kind of the SOG 9mm in Black Ops 4. It's a very fast handling SMG in this game. But you guys already know how I feel about 3-round burst SMGs. I'm not the biggest fan of them, and they have to be really, really good for me to use them, and unfortunately, the Damon is definitely not one of those. As a matter of fact, I think this is a 2-round burst, by the way. I think I was lying just then. I think it's 2-round burst, not 3. But either way, it's just definitely not great or anything. Doesn't have that much recoil, though, surprisingly, for a 2-round burst gun. It's very easy to manage. Alrighty, lads. Now we are into the wonderful good tier. So the guns in this tier, again, you're probably still not going to use them because, realistically speaking, let's be honest, every Call of Duty player just uses the best SMG in the game if they want to use an SMG, and then that's just what they rock with. But there are definitely guns where you'll see them. You know, you'll see them in the kill feed sometimes. You'll see somebody getting a kill, like a best play with them, and then you might use them next game because you get inspired. And coming in at 71st place, barely missing out on the top 70, is the VPR from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. This gun is pretty much a MP5, but futuristic version. And it has like these stupid magazines coming out of the two sides of it. It kind of looks like a wasp or something, you know, how like wasp wings come out like that. And so I do love how this gun looks, but overall actually using it, it's definitely better Infinite Warfare guns to use. And breaking its way into the top 70, sorry for anybody that's like a big fanboy of this thing, but it's the Ladra from Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's a really, really new SMG. It was just added not too long ago, and everybody's like, oh my god, it's so broken. It reminds me a lot of the Spectre from Black Ops 1, for those who don't know. I know there's probably a lot of you guys watching this video right now that have never used this gun because a lot of people gave up on Black Ops 6, but yeah, the Ladra is relatively new, and it's pretty much a remastered, like I said, Spectre, and it's fine. The main problem with the Ladra, though, is this is in Black Ops 6, and every gun in Black Ops 6 has no recoil, but the Ladra does. I don't know why, but they like actually gave the Ladra recoil. And I was like, where did that come from? Every other one of your guns has no recoil whatsoever, Black Ops 6. And this one actually has some. Really weird. And coming in at the wonderful number 69 spot, that's oral sex, is going to the P90 from Modern Warfare 2019. I love P90s, man. I'll be the first to admit it. However, realistically speaking, when you actually think about the P90s themselves, are they good guns? 9 times out of 10, not really. The P90s are usually outshadowed or overshadowed, outclassed. Yeah, that was what I was looking for. Overshadowed and outclassed by another gun in the game, and that's exactly how it is in MW19. The P90's fine, and you'll enjoy using it probably a couple times here and there. Definitely better for something like if you're playing like a shoot the ship playlist or something on MW19, you'll probably use the P90 on shoot house, and then you'll probably use something else on shipment. And coming in at the beautiful number 68 spot, you're done with the oral sex now, and you're just hanging out, just having a good time. It's going to the MP5 from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Actually, 68. That's similar to oral sex, but it would be more like there's 2 heads for some reason on the other guy. That'd be weird. Either way, yeah, the MP5 from Black Ops Cold War is your starting SMG in that game. Sorry about going on that rant, by the way, for anybody. That was disturbing. Don't know why I thought about that. Either way, it is fine. It's a fine starting SMG, man. You'll like using it here and there. It's definitely one of those MP5s always kind of feel that way. They always just kind of feel like they're a fine start, and then once you unlock a new weapon, you're probably gonna choose to use that weapon over the MP5. But it's a nice start, and you always gotta pay respect where respect is due. Coming in at the beautiful number 67 spot is a gun that is, honestly, I'm starting to come around to it. When I first started using this gun in MW23, I did not like it, but now I'm starting to like it a little bit. It's the HRM9 from MW23. This is one of those guns where it definitely relies on attachments to become good and relies on the gunsmith to become a good gun. But once you get it to that point, it becomes a freaking good gun. Also, again, I think this gun does have a Jax variant for it, but I've never used that, so I'm not talking about that one. But yeah, now that I like have it fully leveled up, got all the attachments I want on it, and yada yada yada, it's a fun gun to use. It's just different. It's a different SMG in this game. It feels different compared to the other ones, but it is good. Woohoo! When I feel heavy metal, woohoo! Coming in at the wonderful number 66 spot is going to be going to the EMP-44 from Call of Duty World War II. Another SMG that I have. It looks like a potato gun or like a blow dart weapon or something. It's really, really weirdly designed. For those who don't know, it, like, I know a lot of people don't know the majority of World War II guns because there's so many of them, and obviously, again, let's face it, most people play Call of Duty, play them for like the first couple months and then just give up on them and wait for the next release to come out. And so they probably didn't really see the MP-44 before. I do have this gun on my account actually, and I do like using it because it looks so ridiculous. It literally looks like, you know, those potato shooting guns, or like a weird little like blow dart or something, I guess. Like, it's like, imagine if you, it's like weird. Like it's like if you just took copper pipes and just started gluing them on to make them look like a gun. That's what this thing looks like, and it's really interesting. In terms of actually using it though, it has way too much recoil. Coming in at the number 65 spot is one that I always thought was kind of underrated, the K7 from Call of Duty Ghosts. It's pretty much this game's MP5, let's be honest, and it's got an integrated suppressor in it, so it's almost like the Lockman Shroud. Actually, it's a MP5 SD, if you will. I think that's what they're called, at least. I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to let me know in the comments. A gun nut will have to let, dude. I will say this about YouTube, bro. I love you guys, man. For all, obviously, you're all for all the support. It's really cool. You guys are awesome for the comments and everything. But dude, sometimes I just get like people like teaching me about guns and things that know more about guns than I do, and it's so interesting because I get to learn so many things, and they're nice about it too. They're not like jerks. It's awesome. Either way, back to the gun. Dude, I'm the worst YouTuber. The K7 is fine. It's a pretty slower firing SMG in this game, and it's slower handling, but that's okay in COD Ghosts because the maps are so freaking massive. And coming in at the number 64 spot, my good friends, is going to be going to the MP5 from COD 4, the first ever SMG that the vast majority of people have probably ever used, because COD 4 was obviously a lot of people's first Call of Duties, and the MP5 is the starting SMG in that game, and it is so well-rounded. It's, like I said, just like every other MP5, it's a freaking great start. You know, you're never mad at MP5s. Even the bad MP5s in COD history aren't bad, like the MP5K in Black Ops 1. Yeah, it's a bad SMG because it's in Black Ops 1, but it's still great in Black Ops 1, if that makes any sense. And it's the same thing with like MP5K and MW2. Like, MP5s are always a good option. This is where it all started. Gotta love it. Good gun. And coming in at the number 63 spot is going to be going to the Proto X1 from Call of Duty World War II. Another SMG that I do not have, unfortunately, yet. But again, I've seen some people rocking this thing, man. It's obviously, I don't think based off of an actual real life SMG, but it's really cool, actually. I like how this thing looks. The iron sights are kind of weird. They're like offset for some reason. I don't really understand why that's a thing, but the actual design of the weapon is nice. It reminds me almost of like a really old version of like a UMP-45 or something, right? And I just like it. I don't know. It's a nice gun. I think it looks cool, and I've seen people using it, so it's got to be pretty decent. And coming in at 62nd place, here it is, the gun that we talked about really long ago in this video, almost probably like an hour ago at this point, because we still have 60 more entries left, by the way. Holy smoly. It's the Striker 9 from Modern Warfare 23. Yeah, like I said, the Striker 9 is just better than the Striker in every single way possible. It is better range, better recoil, better ammo, better fire rate, better everything. It is just a really freaking overall well-rounded SMG. Use this over the Striker if you're gonna, unless you're getting obviously like camos, and obviously, yeah, you can use the Striker whatever to get your camos, but if you're not getting camos, just use this one. Coming in at the wonderful 61st spot, barely missing out on the top 60 here, my good friends, is going to be going to the Fennec from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, the OG Fennec, but realistically it's not the OG anything because it's clearly supposed to be based off of a Vector, and it's just like how every other Vector has been in COD history. It's super fast firing, lots of recoil, it's good on close quarter combat maps, but bad at any sort of range, and that's pretty much all there is to say about the Fennec. There were people out there that thought it was like broken. I guess I probably should have mentioned this in the intro, but I guess I'll mention it now. I'm not a Warzone player, so I'm not ranking these guns in any right whatsoever off of Warzone. I'm just not. So there were some people out there that thought the Fennec was good, and I guarantee those people might have been like Warzone players or something, because MW19's multiplayer, the Fennec really wasn't used that much. And so sorry for any Warzone players I might have upsetted in this video. However, breaking its way into the wonderful top 60. We still have 60 more guns to talk about. I am literally losing my breath at this point. It's the KF5 from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, the starting SMG in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and it's obviously supposed to be based off of like a futuristic version of an MP5. And it's a good start, man. It really is. The one thing I will say about the KF5 that kind of feels weird is when you're aiming down sights with the KF5 in Advanced Warfare, I can't be the only one that's noticed this, the iron sights get in the way of themselves sometimes, because like the gun moves so fast and the way the iron sights work are weird. But either way, it is a pretty decent SMG. It has like no real recoil, pretty decent amount of range and everything. It's a really good starting SMG for Advanced Warfare. Coming in at 59th place, another one of the very first ever DLC SMGs we've ever gotten. Not the first, that was obviously the Peacekeeper, but one of the first for sure. The Ripper from Call of Duty Ghosts. For those who don't know, the Ripper, obviously, again, like I said, was a DLC weapon, but it had this cool little feature on it where you could shift it at any point from an SMG firing rate and handling speed and recoil and all that great stuff to an assault rifle firing rate and handling speed and recoil and all that great stuff. And it would also flip the sights and make them like an optic sight for you if you were going into AR mode. It was cool, a really cool change. The way the gun reloaded was awesome. It was like a elbow mag almost. It was kind of cool, and the gun itself looked cool, and it was a really decent SMG in the game. It was just overall very, very good and nothing really to complain about. That's kind of the point that we're at in this list, by the way, is we're at the point now where these SMGs are starting to become just like good, you know? It's not like I can't really say anything about them that really makes them stand out, and so it might get a little bit boring here, if I'm being honest, because coming in at 58th place is the Vesper from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This is this game's fast firing SMG. When this game first came out, the Vesper was absolutely busted. It was called the God mode gun for so long when this game first came out. It was that good. Like, people loved the Vesper. It still to this day is really good too, and they nerfed it, so that's crazy to think about how good it used to be. But yeah, nowadays it's definitely fallen from grace a little bit. Added some more recoil, slightly less damage, and a really big damage drop off. That's its big nerf. Back in the day, it had like no damage drop off, so it was good no matter what. Nowadays it has a damage drop off, but it's still a really cool weapon, really fun weapon, fast firing, fast handling gun in Black Ops 3 to use. Let's go, baby! Coming in at 57th place, dude, I was literally waiting for so long for them to do this. It's the OTS-9 from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. The reason why I'm so excited is because it's the Kaparis, man, and a good Kaparis. I was like, again, same thing I've said already so many times, but I'm the type of player where I play a Call of Duty when it first comes out, play the first 2 seasons or whatever, see the first couple guns, and then I usually give up on it until the next Call of Duty comes out, and then I go back and revisit them years later. And when I went back and revisited Cold War years later, I was so happy to see an OTS-9, a Kaparis remastered in the game, because I really wanted to see a Kaparis remastered, and that's what this is. It's a sick gun, and it's actually pretty freaking decent in Cold War 2, which is saying something because Cold War has some broken SMGs. 56th place, say what, is going to the wonderful Fennec 45 from Modern Warfare 22. Realistically speaking, yet again, I do think that probably what they did here is just took the same assets from Modern Warfare 2019 and added them into Modern Warfare 2022. But for some reason, the Fennec 45 in MW2 feels a little bit better. It feels like it has a little bit less recoil than the Fennec in MW19. And maybe that just might be because of the nature of MW19. MW19's guns just seemed like they had a lot of visual recoil anyways, so maybe that's the reason why. But it was good. It was a fun gun. It was a good gun to use. I liked it. 55th place, like I said, man, this is a part of this list where it's like, I don't really have too much to say about them because these guns are really decent, you know, they're just really good options. They're not like the best in their games, but they're good guns, and it's just that's the best thing I can say about them. And so we're probably gonna go over some of these pretty quickly. I think that's a smart thing to do anyways, to try and save some time. 55th place is the SOG from Call of Duty Black Ops 6, this game's first DLC SMG, and it's a really well-rounded gun. But this is what I mean, dude, like, modern CODs just have no recoil. Like, the SOG is supposed to be this lightweight, high recoil, no range SMG. Like, that's its whole thing. but it has no recoil. It's literally just a laser, and it's really good, honestly. It's weird iron sights though. Smell that northern thunder. If you guys know what that song is from, you're a freaking beast. Either way, coming in at 54th place is going to be going to the UMP-45 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, it's a really, really good gun in MW3. MW3, it was, I would say, pretty average in terms of their SMGs lineup, except for one, obviously. But this is the last time we will talk about an MW3 SMG for quite some time, by the way. So yeah, just keep that in mind. There was a big drop off in quality of MW3 weapons. The UMP-45 is definitely one of the better ones. The second you unlock creative class, choose this over your MP5. Do not use the MP5, use the UMP-45. And coming in at 53rd, I'm from 56, I'm not from 60. Oh, it's 63rd that he says in that song. Oops, silly me. It's going to the Armaguerra 43 from Call of Duty Vanguard. Duh, guys, I've never used it, duh. But I've actually heard a lot about this gun. So not only did I see it in the tier list be ranked relatively high, that I was looking at again, but again, I've heard a lot of people in Call of Duty videos and stuff like that talk about this gun. And so it's got to be pretty freaking decent, man. Again, that might be due to Warzone, it might be due to multiplayer or whatever, but it's got to be pretty good. It also looks cool, so that's a good thing. And coming in at 52nd place, the second one to drop, unfortunately, the second one to fall off, it's the AK-74U from COD 4, and like I said, I do think this is the best SMG in Call of Duty 4. The AK-74U in this game just feels like a really, really good SMG. The ARs in COD 4 were kind of the masterclass of that game, just due to the fact that the game was slower, bigger maps, yada yada, all that great stuff. But the AK-74U felt like an SMG where even though it wasn't as good as something like an M16A4, or even realistically speaking, the AK-47, it can at least hold up with those guns and was actually a lot better than those guns in certain situations. However, coming in at 51st place, barely missing out on the wonderful top 50, baby, is going to be going into the Scorpion Evo from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Yeah, we all love this. Dude, the Scorpion Evo, man, it has a hold on me, man. I don't know what it is. I love the design of the Scorpion Evo. I think it looks so cool. It's the fast-firing, high-recoil SMG of Black Ops 2. It definitely requires a certain style, play style to use it effectively, and you have to be a very aggressive player, and if you can control the recoil on it, it definitely pays off. But God, it's so cool. I also love the iron sights on this gun. Everything about this gun is just freaking iconic, man. However, breaking its way into the top 50 is going to be going to the M267 from Call of Duty World War II. Another probably forgotten about SMG that not a lot of you guys even know exists. And it was one that honestly surprised me when I went back and played it. It was like the last unlocked SMG in the game. It's one of the last ones. It has a really weird design. Like the body of it is very circular. It's almost like a barrel. And then like the freaking handles are in the magazine are just like so skinny little lines. It's weird design, but it actually is a pretty good gun. It has really cool iron sights too. I like the M267. It reminds me of like a pocket assault rifle almost. And coming in at 49th place is another gun that I feel like is just kind of honestly, this one's underrated. The PDSW 528 from MW22. It's obviously the P90. Okay, let's be honest. That's what it's supposed to be. But it's really freaking good. It's so good. It has like no recoil, really good handling speeds, and a 50 round mag to start. Like that's a really good combination. Now, the unfortunate part of it, and the reason why it's not higher than like one of the best SMGs in MW22 in my opinion, is because it does have a pretty decent damage drop off. Like the damage is not, the range is not great, and the damage itself is not great at start, but it is a good starting SMG. By the way, this is your starting SMG in MW22. From one starting SMG to another starting SMG, coming in at 48th place is going to be going to the MP40 from Call of Duty Vanguard. Yes, this is your starting SMG in this game, and apparently it's really good. And when I used it, it was really good. This is one of the SMGs that I do actually have a pretty good amount of time played with in Vanguard, and yeah, it feels just as good as people were saying online. It has like no recoil, man. It's like an AR, and it does a lot of freaking damage. It's a pretty freaking busted SMG. Now, unfortunately, because of the whole gunsmith thing, people make this thing look horrendous, which is like a crime against humanity in my opinion. It should just look like an MP40, but whatever. 47th place, bro. Talk about an underrated gem. It's going to the M1928 from Call of Duty World War II. It's the Thompson, obviously. Every COD, every World War II shooter has to have a Thompson in it. And I think this is the best version of the Thompson we've ever gotten, easily, dude. This thing is really good. It freaking fires fast. And then it has not that much recoil for how fast it fires. Now, the big downside to it, and the reason why it's not like one of the best in World War II in my opinion is of course the range. The range of this thing is freaking useless, to be honest, but everything else about it is really, really good. I like it. However, coming in at the number 46 spot and the final one for the good tier before we get into the amazing tier is the FHR-40 from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, the futuristic P90, and it's just so well-rounded, man. It really is. Infinite Warfare, I won't say had like the best SMGs. They're fine. I actually think the LMGs in that game are kind of the broken ones. The Raw, the Titan, those are really good. Even the Auger is pretty good. But the SMGs in this game were decent at best, I would say. And the FHR-40 is definitely one of the ones where you could get away with it. You know, you could get competitive against LMGs and stuff with it. It felt good. No real recoil. That's kind of the P90's whole selling point. And it had a lot of ammo. Alrighty lads, now we are into the wonderful, amazing tier. So the guns in this tier, well, they're amazing. That's kind of how that works. You know, they're not maybe the best, or maybe not the meta of their games or anything like that. You probably won't be picking them over one or two other SMGs in each one of these games, but they're a really close second. Most people will get away with using them and will have a really good time. You'll see a lot of them in core game modes, but maybe you won't see them in Pro League. And coming in at 45th place is the Spitfire from Black Ops 4. This is this game's version of like the Vesper, you know? They're fast firing, high recoil, not the best range SMG, but dude, it freaking melts. In a 150 health pool game, this thing just melts. Now, is it as good as the Cordite? Well, no, but it's freaking good. 44th place was unfortunately completely shafted and just thrown into a grave upon birth, because it's going to the PDW-57 from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It's this game's like version of kind of like a P90. Looks really cool. Actually, I've always thought the PDW looks like like I like the design choices of it. It looks like a cool weapon. And like I said, it was freaking broken at launch. I guarantee Black Ops 2 OGs remember this gun from launch. You could not get away from the PDW-57. It was so good. They did nerf it, but not enough to make it bad. It's still a really good freaking gun and a very viable option. And coming in at the beautiful number 43rd spot, one of my favorite spots in the entirety of spots. Just kidding, obviously. It's the PPSH-41 from Call of Duty World at War. Second best in, obviously, right behind the SMG in World at War. Obviously, we all know that what that is, but it is a really good option. And obviously, the PPSH's selling point is its insane amount of ammo and its insane fire rate. It melts at close ranges, but unfortunately because of that, it does tend to have a little bit of a pretty bad range drop off. But I do think the melting capabilities of this gun at close range makes up for that. It's freaking gross at close range. And yeah, honestly, 42nd place reminds me very, very much of the OG in the same regards. It's the PPSH-41 in Black Ops Cold War. My cat, by the way, is laying on my lap right now, and he's getting 17,000 hairs in my mouth somehow. He's not even near my mouth. I don't know how they're getting in there. Either way, yeah, the PPSH-41 in Black Ops Cold War is just like every other PPSH that we've had in Call of Duty history. It's freaking disgusting. It melts at close range. It destroys enemies no matter what you're doing. In Black Ops Cold War, it does feel slightly better than the OG, obviously, probably just due to the added bonus of better hit registration, but it's good. Also, big crime and a big middle finger to you if you don't put a drum mag on your PPSH. Just want to put that out there. That is a crime. Do put a drum mag on your PPSH. I don't care. Oh, well, it hurts the movement speed. Shut up, Timmy. Okay, not everything is about how great my gun can be. Some of it's about just having some hair on your chest. Coming in at 41st place, dude, how is he getting hair in my mouth? I literally just spent like the last 2 minutes straight there getting hair out of my mouth because it was driving me nuts, and they're still there. Either way, coming in at 41st place, barely missing out on the top 40, is going to the WSP-9 from Modern Warfare 23. It's the Uzi in this game, obviously, and it is freaking gross. It is a really good version of the Uzi. It kind of doesn't remind me anything of an actual Uzi, if I'm being honest. Like, it's not really the same in any regards of how a regular Uzi is. The regular Uzi is like every time I think of an Uzi, I think of a high recoil, really good at close range, but has absolutely no range whatsoever. Definitely not good at long ranges. The WSP-9 is kind of like the opposite of that. It's actually really good at long range. However, breaking its way into the beautiful number 40 spot, and the third game to fall is going to be going to the MTAR X from Call of Duty Ghosts. I do think this is the best SMG in COD Ghosts, but like I said earlier in the video, COD Ghosts definitely didn't have like some of the best SMGs in COD history. The MTAR X definitely feels like the strongest. It's got a really cool iron sights, actually. The way the gun handles is really good, and it definitely has a really good range and can actually compete against some other weapons like the Honey Badger, Remington, or M27 IAR, but not gonna really like destroy them. And coming in at 39th place, it actually makes me really happy to say this and say that not have to say that it's in the best tier, because it's going to the LC-10 in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. For those who don't know, this is the newest SMG we've gotten in Call of Duty right now, because it was just released with Black Ops 6 Season 4, and it is one of the DLC weapons in the season, and it's good. But that makes me happy to not say that it's broken, because obviously 9 times out of 10, Call of Duty releases new guns and makes them freaking overpowered so that people feel like they have to buy them. But the LC-10, it doesn't feel that way. It feels good. It feels very, very good. It feels very, very strong. Not really that much recoil, cool iron sights, good handling speeds, yada yada, good damage. Everything about it feels great, but it doesn't feel broken. I think it's a good gun. And coming in at 38th place, honestly speaking, just feels very, very similar. It's the PPSH-41 in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. See, this is the problem, modern Call of Duty, when it comes to making every single one of your guns have no recoil. They all start to feel the freaking same, okay? Like, yes, I guess I get it that, like, sometimes, oh, well, if you guys complain about the guns in COD history, like the Uzi and MAC-10s and Scorpions and stuff like that, because they had too much recoil. Yeah, but that's what makes things special. That's what makes other good guns so good and stuff, man. When you make a PPSH in Black Ops 6 that can outgun XM4s at range for some reason, it loses all of its personality, and that's what the PPSH is. Now, I do like the gun, and I think it's still really good. Obviously, I put it at 38th place, but just a little bit of a disappointment. It doesn't feel like a PPSH. And coming in at 37th place is going to a really, really good starting SMG, honestly, the COD from Black Ops 3. This is your starting SMG in Black Ops 3, and it's very obviously similar of an MP5. It's supposed to be like a futuristic version of an MP5, obviously. And it's just really well-rounded, just like every single other MP5 we talked about so far. I don't really have much else to say about it. It's futuristic, well-rounded, doesn't feel like super satisfying to use or anything like that, but it's a good start. I do think most people would probably change it out once they unlock the first SMG that they unlock in this game, because that is the VMP. And 36th place, another gun that I have never used, unfortunately, so I do apologize, but it's going to the well gun from Vanguard. People were saying this is like meta almost in Vanguard. It's like one of the best SMGs in the game. People will use it a lot in both multiplayer and what's it called there, freaking Warzone. And apparently it's pretty freaking good, and so that's obviously just handy mandy dandy, good thing there. Got to use it because it does look kind of cool and looks fun to use, and obviously using guns that are broken are a fun thing to do, so got to use it at one point. And coming in at 35th. See, guys, I told you it was going to be a while until we talked about another SMG. And it'll be, from Modern Warfare 3 at least, and it'll be another long while until we talk about the last SMG in Modern Warfare 3, because this is the second best SMG in my opinion in MW3. It's the PP90M1. This is, I mean, it's just freaking peak, bro. This gun is so peak. Every time they tried to remaster PP919, any of the Bisons that they've tried making, they just don't hold a candle to the OG, bro. This gun is just so cool. I love its magazine. It does pretty much no recoil. The iron sights are perfect. The way it sounds too, it's like, if that makes any sense, it's like it sounds like it's wet. I don't know, it just sounds cool when it's firing. However, lads, oh my god, dude, we still have 34 more guns. We are making some progress though, man. I cannot believe that I'm trying to film this all in one night, and we're actually about to. I started at midnight. It's 2 a.m. So, oh my god, that means this is going to be 2 hours long. Holy crap. Either way, 34th place is the CX-9 from MW19. Really good gun. I don't know what else to say. It's a really good gun in MW19. Honestly, it's interesting because it's more fun to talk about guns that suck than it is to talk about guns that are good, because it's like all of them kind of fall into the same category. Like, okay, yeah, the CX-9 is a good gun in MW19, just like every other gun that we talked about so far. It's got a fast fire rate, a little bit of recoil for sure. It's Modern Warfare 2019 though. What gun doesn't have recoil in this game? But it's fun. It's a good gun to use. I like it. It's cool. 33rd place sometimes makes me want to rip my hairballs out, because it's going to the ISO 45 from MW22. This is how you make a freaking ISO Call of Duty. The ISO from MW19, not the best. The ISO 9mm from MW22, not the best. The ISO 45, just right, my friend. It's just a really, really, really well-rounded SMG. It's super fast to use. It has like no freaking recoil and a decent amount of damage. Its big problem being the range drop-off for sure. That is definitely its weak point. But 9 times out of 10 on MW22, you're probably going to be playing Shipment 24/7, let's be honest here, and it freaking melts on that game mode. It drives me absolutely insane sometimes, as a matter of fact, because the sweats that use this gun on MW22, I want to rip their hairs out. Coming in at 32nd place, really cool gun. Love the design of this gun. Reminds me of like a World War II version of the Ripper, if that makes any sense. It's going to the Ribby Rolls from Call of Duty World War II. I have this gun on my account actually, and I've used it multiple times, and it is freaking good. It is really, really good. Love the quote-unquote iron sights. It's got like a built-in scope. You know how some World War II guns did that? Well, it has that, and it's just a really, really well-rounded SMG. It's feels fun to use. It feels good to use. Everything about it is handy, mandy, dandy, great, my friend. However, coming in at 31st place, barely missing out on the top 30, and the fourth game to fall here is going to be going to the UMP-45 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. The best gun, SMG-wise, obviously, in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion, is easily the UMP-45. This thing is freaking great in MW22. The only real downside to the other SMGs in this game is their recoil. Obviously, again, I've said it multiple times, but I'll say it again. Old CODs had recoil, so you actually had to deal with that at some points. And so the UMP-45 was the only one that really didn't have any, so it could finally, compete against ARs in most gunfights, and that just easily makes it the best in the game. Definitely not, I don't think MW2 has like the strongest SMGs in COD history. As you can see here, it's the best one is only in 31st place, but it is easily the best in its game. And breaking its way into the top 30, if you haven't played Infinite Warfare, do not open your mouth because I do not want to hear it. It's the RPR Evo from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, or the Ripper Evo. It's the new futuristic version of the Ripper that we know and love in COD Ghosts. And I know what a lot of people that haven't played Infinite Warfare are saying. What? You put an Infinite Warfare gun higher than the OG Ripper? Yeah, I did. Because it's definitely better. It is way better. It is a very, very, very good SMG. I like it a lot, mate. It feels fast. It feels good to fire and everything. It doesn't have the same added bonus that other SMGs in Call of Duty history do have, but it is, or what am I saying? It doesn't have the bonus that the Ripper had, the OG Ripper had, where it's like AR SMG hybrid, but it is still a really good gun. Sorry, by the way, there, guys. I got distracted because my mom was coming down here trying to say something to me, so I was like trying to be like, I'm in the middle of recording without saying it or anything, so that's why I just started rambling about nothing that made sense there. I apologize. Either way, coming in at 29th place is going to be going to the KSV in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's the second SMG you unlock in Black Ops 6, and I think the second you unlock it, you should definitely replace your C9 for the KSV. It just feels a whole hell of a lot better than the C9. It has like, it's just so really good. It's kind of reminds me a lot of like an AK-74U almost. It kind of like looks like a pocket AK, and I like that, man. I like the gun. It's a good gun, cool gun. I like it. However, my good friends, coming in at 28th place is going to be going to the beautiful Vel 46 from Modern Warfare 22. Talk about a slept-on gun. I feel like nobody talks about the Vel 46 in MW22. I feel like the MP7 in general just gets so forgotten about. And like everybody knows about it from MW3, obviously. Everybody's like, oh, MW3, yeah, the MP7 was one of the best guns in that game, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like they've remastered it multiple times, and it's always been so good and then so forgotten. Like, the MW22 Vel 46 is freaking great. It's got good iron sights, like no recoil, and an insanely fast fire rate with good ammo in the mag too. And coming in at 27th place, if you are an OG Black Ops 4 player, you're probably scratching your head as to how it only made it up to 27th and not higher, but it did get nerfed. It's the SOG 9mm. The SOG 9mm at launch was gross. This thing just absolutely destroyed human beings. It was like the Terminator. It was just that bad. But they have since nerfed it, like I said, and it has unfortunately dropped from its site of grace a little bit there. But it's still really, really broken, really, really good, just not as good as it once was. And coming in at the beautiful number 26 spot, and dude, my freaking GoPro battery is on 4%, so I'm probably gonna have to film the rest of these, by the way, on my phone after this, just a fair warning. But either way, 26th place is the Type 100 from Call of Duty World War II. It is, I think, the best version of the Type 100 we've ever gotten. It's really, really strong in World War II. It has no recoil in this game, and since World War II has a really good hit registration system, it feels very strong. It has a very good fire. Everything about it is just a really well-rounded gun. It almost feels like a pocket assault rifle, honestly. Like, it doesn't really feel like an SMG. The Type 100 in COD World War II is slept on for sure. I think nobody uses it, and that's a crime. Alright guys, unfortunately we are on the phone now. Like I said, man, we had to whip the phone out. The GoPro died. That's just the nature of trying to talk about 170 guns in a row, and me having the unfortunate bonus of rambling on for no reason all the time, so they become longer than they should be. The battery ran out, so we're on the phone now, but it should be fine. I've actually recorded a couple videos in the past on my phone, and nobody seemed to notice, so I don't think anybody will really care. Either way, 25th place is the AK-74U in Black Ops Cold War. Yeah, I think the second you unlock this, you should just replace it for your MP5 that you had. As a matter of fact, of every single gun in Call of Duty history, this gun is the highest, the gun that I got the highest kill streak of all time for myself with. I got a 27 bomb with the AK-74U. I had 27 gun streak with this gun when Black Ops Cold War first came out, before skill-based matchmaking could screw me over, and it was easily my best kill streak I've ever gotten, so yeah, I like it. And coming in at the number 24 spot, and the 5th, is it now? 5th, I think? Let me check real quick before I say something stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it is. So it's the number 5. All right, the 5th game to drop, the 5th game to fall here is the PPSH 41 from Call of Duty Vanguard. Vanguard's the 5th game to drop. I do think Vanguard doesn't have the bestest SMGs out there. It seems like assault rifles were definitely the meta in that game. A lot of people talk about things like the Automaton, Itra Burst, the BP-50, and those games being really broken, and even something like the Cooper Carbine was really good apparently in that game. So the SMGs definitely seem like they fell off a little bit, so I think this is a good spot. Let me know though if you guys think I made a mistake in the comments below. But yeah, the PPSH, apparently everybody was saying it's the best, and I do remember using it back in Vanguard's early days, and it being really good. However, coming in at 23rd place in the final one for the amazing tier, before we finally get into the best tier, and it's the Karma 45, and it's the 6th game to fall off here, the 6th game to fall off the site of grace with Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare, again, I don't think SMGs in this game were definitely the meta. It seemed like a game where longer range weapons with better range and stuff were definitely better, because LMGs run this game now, and ARs are the second best for sure. So I think it makes sense that I don't really believe that a Infinite Warfare weapon deserves to be in the best tier. The Karma 45 definitely feels like the best, though, in my opinion. It's this game's vector. Oh my freaking god, dude, the Karma 45 feels good in this game. It feels a lot of fun to use. If you never played Infinite Warfare before, man, definitely give it a try and use the Karma. The Karma is such a cool weapon and fun to use. But now we are into the best tier. So the 22 guns in this tier are obviously either going to be the best in their respected games, or a very close second, or maybe even third, to the best in their respective games. So all these guns are freaking goated is what I'm trying to say. Almost any one of these guns you can do good with. Every one of these guns are good user-friendly weapons, starter, beginner-friendly weapons. And coming in at 22nd place, and the first one for the best tier, is the MP7 from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It's your starting SMG in this game, actually, and it is freaking great. No recoil, insane range, good fire rate, good amount of ammo, great iron sights, good handling. Everything about the MP7 just checks all the boxes in Black Ops 2. Another gun, though, where it's like everybody, MP7, dude, I'm telling you guys, MP7s are slept on. Coming in at 21st place, barely missing out on the wonderful top 20, is the PPSH 41 from Call of Duty Black Ops 3, a DLC, obviously, supply drops SMG in Black Ops 3, and oh my god, this is a freaking good PPSH, man. I'm gonna be 100% honest, it doesn't really feel like a PPSH, if I'm being honest. Like, the PPSH from World at War, and PPSH in, like, Vanguard and World War II, they feel more like PPSHs than this does. It just kind of feels like a regular old SMG with that looks kind of cool, but it is busted. It's unfortunate that it's an SMG only, or DLC only SMG. Alrighty, lads, so you know what I'm about to say. Breaking its way into the top 20, my good friends, is going to the VMP from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Not the Black Ops 3 VMP, but yes, they actually did remaster this in Black Ops 4, and it was just as, well, not just as good. I think it was a little bit worse than the Black Ops 3 VMP, but still a really, really good gun, and it was, yeah, it was busted. This is, I don't have many DLC weapons in Black Ops 4, but this is one of the ones that I do have, and it doesn't matter anyways, because I know it's broken, because people use it against me all the time in Black Ops 4. People are always running the VMPs in this game. Is it the best SMG in BO4? I don't think so, but it's one of the best. Also, guys, now that I'm recording on my phone, it's so annoying, because I don't just get to press the button to end my recordings. I have to, like, press it on my phone, and so I keep forgetting to do that, and so, like, all these clips are becoming, like, 10 seconds longer than they should be. And coming in at 19th place in, what is it, this 8th game? No, 7th game, I think. Yes, 7th game to fall off now. 7th game to drop. It's going to the Jackal PDW from Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I do think this is easily the best SMG in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. You might disagree with me on that and say that the Ladra or the LC-10 is better now. I don't think so, dude. I think the Jackal PDW is still freaking broken. It's still really well-rounded. Things like the Ladra has too much recoil and not enough range. The LC-10 doesn't handle good enough for close range engagements. But the Jackal PDW has an incredible combination of both of them that just really rounds off to a really good gun. And on top of all that, it's original. You know what I mean? Like, the LC-10 is just a remastered gun. The Lodger is a remastered gun. The Jackal PDW is an original gun. I like that better. I give respect when they do things like that. I think that's way cooler. And coming in at 18th place, it pains me to know that there are people out there that have never used this gun, because it is so good, so fun to freaking use, man. One of the guns that I do have, actually, one of my most recent guns I've unlocked in COD World War II, the Bakewake, or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that, so sorry, but it is so good. Again, if you're not a COD World War II enjoyer, if you didn't play it back when it came out or whatever, go back, try and get the Bakewake somehow if you can, or you don't even really have to. You'll see people using it because it's that good. Like, people will use this gun quite often. Is it as broken as obviously the best World War II SMG? Definitely not. That gun is still yet to come for sure, but it is a good alternative. And coming in at 17th place, one of my very personal favorites for sure. Like, this gun just, there's something about it. It just holds a little bit of a special place in my heart. It's the VMP from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This gun, thank God it exists, because there are so many guns in Black Ops 3 that were added into supply drops and supply drops only. And obviously, if one of those ended up being if there was no base game guns that were a viable option, it would have been a nightmare to have to deal with people with DLC weapons while you didn't have them. But luckily, no matter what, you could always have the VMP. And the VMP was a base game gun that was freaking broken. It melted, had a little bit of recoil for sure, but just put a grip on it and then you're good. It had great iron sights, looked cool, everything about it was awesome. Coming in at 16th place, another gun that's just freaking great. Kind of that's the whole point of the best tier, obviously. This gun's so annoying to go up against. The Static HV in Modern Warfare 23. Every person that uses a Static HV thinks that they're like the best player in the world, and it's like, dude, you're using the best gun in the world. Like, what are you doing? It is really freaking good, though. It makes sense why they use it. It's really easy to use. It's super fast handling, super good. It has like no recoil whatsoever, because of course it doesn't. It's a modern Call of Duty game. Of course it has no recoil, and it has a really good number of damage. It is a DLC weapon. I guarantee a lot of people never even got to use this thing, if I'm being honest, because it was a DLC weapon. So if you haven't, go back and try it. And coming in at the wonderful number 15 spot is going to be going to the LC-10 from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Definitely way better than the LC-10 that we have now in BO6. This gun feels very strong in that game. It's one of the meta guns. Like, it's not the meta gun because of one other gun in Black Ops Cold War, but it's definitely a good close second. A lot of people are going to use this gun if they don't have the other one or whatever. It's really good. Again, definitely not the best in this game, but holy smokes, it's you could get away with using it as long as nobody in the lobby is using what the best gun is. This one's a good option. And coming in at 14th place in the 8th game now to drop off here is going to be going to the Vaznev 9K from Modern Warfare 22. Obviously, I do think the Vaznev 9K is the best gun in Modern Warfare 22. Modern Warfare 22, again, has some heavy-hitting guns for sure. The Vel 46 being really good, the PDSW 528 being really good. Had a lot of good guns, but the Vaznev 9K just kind of takes the cake. Now, I will say it takes the cake for the best SMG on anything except for shipment. This gun is definitely not one of the like an SMG that's really good at close range. It's definitely one of the ones where it's good at all ranges. It's really well-rounded no matter what range you're at, so that's what makes it great. So if you are going to use it in 6v6, because then that's where it's broken. And coming in at 13th place in the 9th game to drop off here yet again. Obviously, we're going to start knocking some games out here. That's kind of the way it works. We're getting towards the top of the list. It's the Cordite from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Yeah, if you go back and play Black Ops 4 in 2025 right now, by the way, for those who don't know and haven't played it in quite some time, literally all you will see in the kill feed is Cordites. I'm not joking. It is that bad. Every human being on that game just uses Cordites now. It's that broken. The Cordite is insane. The real reason why, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I think it's just because it has like really good range and doesn't have like any recoil, which is good enough for an SMG, and so they just use it. It also handles really well, has good ADS speeds and all that stuff. But overall, I couldn't tell you why everybody loves it so freaking much. It just happens to be like broken. And coming in at 12th place, one of the most iconic, I would say, SMGs in COD history. It's the MP5 from MW19. So many of the new gens think that this is the best SMG in Call of Duty's ever made. They always are like, you know, MP5, oh my god, bring it back. That was the best gun that COD's ever made. And then, no, man. It's great. It's incredible. Definitely up here at the number 12 spot. Like, it's an incredible freaking SMG. Definitely, I don't think it's the best. I don't even think it's the best in MW19, if I'm being honest. I think it's very close to the best in MW19. As a matter of fact, we will be seeing the best here pretty shortly unfortunately, but I don't think it is. Still really freaking good, though. I want to make that abundantly clear. I'm not bashing on this gun, just kind of trying to defend myself, because I know there's going to be some younger kids that only know newer CODs trying to say that it's like the best SMG ever. But yeah, see, here it is. Coming in at 11th place, barely missing out on the coveted top 10, unfortunately, is the MP7 from Modern Warfare 2019. The 10th game, I believe, unless it's 9th. No, it's 10th. 10th game to drop off now. Yeah, I think the MP7 is better than the MP5 and MW19, but only by, like, the slimmest margin. I'm talking, like, ooh, like a pubic hair of a difference there. It is literally nothing. You could squeeze a fart through that difference. It's that small. They're very, very both incredibly good weapons. I just like using the MP7 slightly more. I think it handles a little bit faster and just feels a little bit better to me. But I obviously a lot of other people will probably disagree and probably say the MP5 is better, so that's fine. I just think the MP7 is slightly better though. And breaking their way into the top 10, man. The freaking cannot believe we're here. It has been almost 2.5 hours, I want to say now. I don't know actually exactly when we started. Been a long time of filming here, man. My mouth is like drier than the Sahara Desert, but we're finally into the top 10. The top 10 best SMGs in COD history, in my opinion, and coming in at 10th place is MP40 from Call of Duty World at War. The 11th game to drop off. Everybody remembers the MP40 with a little bit of rose-tinted glasses, I do think. I do think people out there glaze it a little too much, but it is still freaking crazy and easily the best gun in World at War, without a doubt. It is so broken, but it does have a lot of recoil, and so I do think if this gun like came out in the exact state it's in right now, like in World at War, but today, I don't think it would be that good, and so that's why I'm not putting it any higher, but it was freaking broken for its time. And coming in at 9th place, actually not the first place gun for this game. Yeah, we got a couple more here that are not their first place guns in their respective games. But it is the PPSH-41 from COD World War II. It is a non-DLC SMG that, as a matter of fact, it's the second DLC you unlock, I believe, in this game. So a lot of people can get this gun really easily and go back and experience a really good SMG in this game if they want to right now. And it's great. The PPSH in this game is really good, and it feels like you're actually shooting a real PPSH too. I can't stand how modern CODs, Black Ops 6, honestly even Black Ops 3, and I love Black Ops 3, but I'll admit it, how they're kind of taking away from what made the PPSH feel so special. It shoots fast as hell, but has a lot of recoil. The thing is a bucking Bronco, and if you can't handle it, get off of it. And that's how the World War II one feels. And coming in at 8th place is actually another gun that is not the best in its game. It's the second best in its game. It's the Rival 9 from Modern Warfare 23. Dude, if you are a old head, a veteran that refuses to admit that modern Call of Duties are good, use this. Use this and you will understand why people like modern CODs. This is a freaking good gun, and it's not like a DLC weapon or anything. It doesn't really matter anyways, because nowadays DLC weapons, Modern Warfare 3, you get them the same way you unlock regular weapons anyways with the armory credits or whatever, so it's fine. But either way, it is a gun that anybody can get, and the Rival 9 is so well-rounded, bro, and it feels satisfying. I know that's crazy to say, because I've said it multiple times. I've gone on records multiple times to say that modern Call of Duty doesn't really have that differing feel in guns, but the Rival 9 definitely does feel different from anything else in the game. It feels fun to use. However, coming in at the beautiful number 7 spot, and the 12th game, is it now? 11th maybe? I can't remember actually. Hold on, let me count the rest of them real quick. Wait, so it's 7. That means there's, wait, okay, one second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus, there's 18 totals. That means this is number 11. So the 11th game to drop off here is the Irma EMP in COD World War II. A lot of people probably don't know how broken this SMG is, because again, COD World War II has a ridiculous amount of SMGs, and a lot of people don't play CODs after they start to drop their broken weapons, obviously. But the Irma EMP is literally all that like Master Prestige players use, which is why I was so impressed again by that guy Prey Eyes, the number 18 in the world I was telling you guys about earlier, because dude, that's respectful right there, bro. He was using a freaking pretty average SMG and dropping like bangers on us. Well, everybody else has to use an Irma. Like, the Irma's broken, it is so good, but if you can use any SMG and get that gameplay, now you're good, you know what I'm saying? And coming in at the wonderful number 6 spot, however, and the 12th game, obviously, to drop off here. Is it 12th or 13th? I have no idea. We'll have to see when we get to first place, obviously. Wait, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. No, it's the 13th. Okay. Sorry. So Irma, the World War II was actually the 12th. This is the 13th. 13th game to drop off here It's the Superi 46 from Modern Warfare 23. Easily the best gun in this game. It is just so freaking well-rounded. It has the handling of an SMG, but the range and damage of an assault rifle. It is really good. Zero recoil. Again, I know I've said multiple times now that modern COD guns have no recoil, yada, 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 but this gun in particular feels like a freaking laser in your hands. Everybody uses it. Kind of frustrating to go against, if I'm being honest, sometimes, but it's busted. And they're coming in at number 5 now. Yeah, we're breaking into the top 5. Realistically speaking, any one of the guns in the top 10 could have gotten first place, and you could have put them first place, and I would have been like, yeah, makes sense, bro. So keep that in mind for here going forward. But either way, coming in at 5th place, my bad. And the 14th COD game to drop off is the MSMC from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Man, bring me back. Bring me back. I want to use the BO2X MSMC in its prime again so bad, Mom. Mom, hold me, Mom. It's so freaking good. I'm not even exaggerating, new gens, okay? The veterans understand. The veterans are probably sitting there like, yeah, I want my mommy too. All the new gens out there like, oh, he's overreacting. No, the MSMC was freaking great. It was so busted, dude. I don't know what it was that made this gun so good, but it was so good. Coming in at 4th place, though, I can't lie, man. It's the 15th game to drop off, and it's going to the Tech 9 in Black Ops Cold War. Yeah, modern COD still does make some freaking bangers, and the Tech 9 is easily one of them. At first glance, you might start using this gun without any attachments or anything and be like, what? He thinks this is the best gun in Black Ops Cold War? Wait until you make it full auto. When it's single fire, yeah, it kind of sucks. When you make it full auto, holy freaking smizzokes. This thing is absolutely lethal. It is so busted, it's unbelievable. It will like two-shot as an SMG, bro, at like any range. And it handles probably faster than any other SMG in the game as well. It has insane damage, insane range, insane ammo capacity, insane fire rate, insane handling. Everything about the Tech 9 is freaking insane. Now we're coming in at the wonderful number 3rd spot. Is going to be going to an obvious one here, bro. We haven't talked about an Advanced Warfare gun in quite some freaking time, actually. I cannot remember the last Advanced Warfare gun we did talk about. Was it the freaking KF5? No way it was the KF5, right? I think it might have been. Either way, it's the 16th game to drop off, and coming in at 3rd place, it is the ASM-1 from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Specifically, obviously, the Speakeasy variant, sure, but even the base gun is freaking incredible. I really, really hope that they decide to bring back an ASM-1 at some point in COD history or whatever. It is truly just that good, man. The ASM-1, I don't even know how to describe it. It kind of reminds you similarly of things like the Superi, actually. The Superi is a really good example to use. It's like that in the sense where it's like an AR. It takes all the good parts of an AR and all the good parts of an SMG and combines it into one. However, coming in at 2nd place, and if you guys somehow have been following along and you've been keeping guns in your head, that means that you also know what 1st place is if you did the process of elimination here, although obviously there's 172 guns, so I don't expect you guys to be following along somehow. So either way, 2nd place is the XMC in the 17th COD to drop off, the 2nd best Call of Duty. It is the XMC from Black Ops 3, bro. It's a DLC gun. It's the MSMC remastered. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but they actually managed to make it better somehow. I don't know how they did it. I didn't really get a lot of the DLC weapons in Black Ops 3 because I was a 16-year-old at the time that this game came out. I was broke. Actually, 15. I was 15 when this game came out. And I didn't have money to spend on supply drops and stuff. And this is one of the ones I did got. And oh my goodness, I cannot believe I was that lucky. At the time, I just saw, oh, okay, cool, I got a DLC weapon. And then it turned out to be like quite literally the 2nd best submachine gun in Call of Duty history, in my opinion. It is that good. It will two-shot insane. I can't even explain it. You have to use it. And 1st place. Yeah. You see it on screen now. Because I'm the worst editor of all time, and I can't build up suspense because of my editing style. It's just like cut to the next one. So you see it on the screen already. So let's rip the band-aid off. It's the MP7 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the OG. It's easily, in my opinion, the best SMG of all time. I don't really even think any game comes relatively close. There's no gun in this game that comes close. The ACR is the only one that slightly holds a candle to the MP7, and it's still not even remotely good compared to that gun. It is just, I don't even really get how either. The iron sights are incredible, sure. The fire rate is incredible, sure, and it has a really good amount of ammo. So there's like the 3 obvious things that you see right there. But there's a plenty of guns like that, like PPSHs. PPSHs have always been like that. But so what's the downside to the PPSH over this? Well, this gun has no recoil. Okay. Well, what about like I don't know, an LMG with a lot of fire rate, a lot of recoil, or no recoil, good damage. Well, what's the difference there? This gun has insane damage. Like, the MP7 just, no matter what it is, manages to beat out a gun. Like, no matter what gun you try and compare it against, the MP7 will most likely beat that gun. And that is aura, that is peak, that is the best gun, in my opinion, best SMG easily, and arguably one of the best guns in COD history, in my opinion. I think the MP7 from Modern Warfare 3 is easily the best. In the OGs, the veterans know. For all the new gens out there that are like, no, what are you saying, man? You gotta use it. Go back and play MW3. Tell me how many MP7s you see. I guarantee it's gonna be like 50. Like, it's just MP7 after MP7. Why? Because it's that freaking good. It is truly incredible. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is finally the end of today's video, ranking all 172 Call of Duty SMGs from worst to best. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let me know what other videos I'd see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And now that all the other people are gone that don't really care about the channel or whatever, if you actually managed to watch through that entire video, by the way, no break. Well, you can take breaks, actually, I don't care. But if you actually watched through all of it, didn't skip anything, didn't skip to the end or whatever it may be, you actually watched that entire video, thank you from the bottom of my freaking heart, man. I literally could not thank you anymore. Like, that's insane. This video, I don't know exactly right now. Obviously, I'm still recording it, so I have no idea. But it's probably going to be around 2 hours long. And if you watched every second of that and didn't skip any of it, all 2 hours of me rambling to the camera about random stuff, most of these guns, there were times where I was talking about freaking the number 68, not even the gun. You know what I mean? I ramble like crazy a lot sometimes. It's just, again, it's just, I know it sounds like an excuse, but it really is a side effect of ADHD. I just get off track sometimes. I can't stay on one topic, and so I just start to ramble sometimes about random things, and it sucks, obviously, for you making YouTube videos, but it's just how I am, you know. It's whatever. And if you manage to watch through all that stuff, dude, and you still support this channel every day or whatever, I just wanted to say a big old thank you. You guys are awesome. You guys are incredible. This channel is growing at an extremely rapid rate. For those who don't know, I have 3 other YouTube channels, and I don't think I've ever seen a YouTube channel grow as fast as this one. Easily. I think this is definitely the fastest growing channel I've ever had. It is insane. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. You can say what you want about the COD community. Sure, they're all little kids. Sure, they're all angry all the time. Sure, they all are idiots that just play the same thing all over the day. I don't care what they say about us, man. We got a good community going here. I like you guys a lot. As for future videos, what are we doing in the next couple days, man? Well, obviously, like I said, we're not going to be doing any ranking all guns in each class video for quite some time, because this is a 172 entry video, and it obviously takes forever to make videos like this, so it's going to be a little bit longer until we do the tactical rifles, DMRs. So what's going to be there in the meantime? Well, obviously, we're still doing our Road to Master Prestige series, so that's obviously going to keep going. We just recently did MW19, and then next is going to be Cold War, and then we'll be doing Vanguard, obviously, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and then finishing off with Black Ops 6. But for regular videos, well, we got to finish off the Mastery Camos ranking for sure, so we got to do that. We're going to be ranking every single Mastery Camo. I already wrote out the script for that, actually, so I got, how many is there total? I forget. There is 78 Mastery Camos total in Call of Duty, so that would be a big video too, actually. Probably not going to be as long as this one, but still going to be a very, very long video. So yeah, get ready for that one too, man, because we're going to have a couple long videos here in a row. But either way, I guess that's it, man. I gotta stop recording now. I'm literally, like, my throat is starting to get dry up. I feel like the Sahara Desert over here, man. So I'm gonna go now, unfortunately. But it's been a great video. Hope you guys enjoyed, man. I really hope people understand that this is just my opinion at the end of the day, and I'm not a professional player and everything like that. I really hope you guys get that, and you guys aren't too mad at any placements or whatever. Obviously, I probably don't even agree with myself on this list 100% anyways. Like, how is it even remotely possible to rank 172 different things appropriately according to you? You know what I mean? Like, and what I'm trying to say is, any day of the week, some of these guns could change. Not only like a couple places by like 1 or 2 positions, but like probably 10 positions. Like, there's a good chance you can make the argument that the repulsor from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare does not deserve to be at number 168, the 5th worst gun in Call of Duty history. You can make that argument and make it say that it's 158th. You could easily say that, and I would be like, okay, I get it. There are so many guns where that could obviously change. It's just the nature of how even the top 10, there are guns in the top 10 that I remember I said, like, yeah, you can make an argument for almost any gun in the top 10 there for being the best SMG in COD history, and I would probably be open to hear about it. So I hope you guys just don't get too mad is all I'm trying to say. Hope you guys understand it was all personal opinion. Thank you guys literally from the bottom of my heart for watching, man. It was a long video, so it means the world to me that you guys actually enjoyed it and whatever. Well, at least watched it. I know some of you guys might not enjoy it, but either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania. I'm gonna go drink some freaking water and have a nice night.